Well, you know what? Fuck just sitting here, you know what I'm saying, waiting and shit. I'll put the link in the motherfucking Discord if anybody wants to come in. But I figure I already got people waiting, so I might as well get this bitch started a while. So yesterday, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm making a video on this right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like fucking I'm working on it. I'm not real sure exactly how I want it to turn out or, what I mean, really exactly what I want to say. So I figure I'll work it out talking to y'all and then I'll get back to that shit, right? I figure maybe, just maybe, we need to stand here and have a conversation about a lot of things about what happened yesterday and understand exactly why it is that shit went the way it fucking did. Because Donald Trump held a motherfucking rally and told people to show up. And then people showed up and then they overran the barricades, went into the house and decided to stand here and, break windows and grab shit and do whatever people do when they're running amok, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you, I've run amok before and I will run the fuck out of amok with you. You know what I mean? But the real problem that I see is the fact that individuals don't understand what they are. And I think that's important to talk about, like as a whole. People don't really understand when I started the TRASHNO state, right? And I say, you know what I'm saying, that we stood here and are all white trash motherfucking citizens, right? Because like people really don't understand that that's a real thing, right? So in the English world, right, when they brought people to America, they had what was known as expendable citizens, individuals who weren't super productive, individuals who didn't own houses, individuals, they called them the idle poor, right? And they decided that what they were going to do with them is they were going to stand here and bring them to America and they would expand into, the American continent. And then once the actual country got to be, right? Back in the 1776 and all that shit, right? They stood here and what they did is they said that the individuals who are, again, the idle poor will just expand into what's, the West, into the frontier. And that worked, right? And that worked the whole way up until like the 1850s, 1860s, 1870s, right? And it still worked, like even, up until probably the 1950s, to be real with you. Because America has still been like, conquering some of these lands in the Midwest and things of this nature. There's still plenty of empty land out here. But the truth of the matter is that even in Thomas Jefferson's time, 40% of, individuals weren't landowners. And these 40% of people, were always a problem for the government as a whole. So today, when we stand here and we look at our society, right, and we understand that as of right now, it's something like right around 38% of the population doesn't own shit. And it's important that we have this conversation to understand that it's not just about standing here. How do I put this, man? It's not just about standing here and understanding that, fuck the Republican Party and things of this nature. It's about understanding your place in the society and understanding that, as a whole, the cost of owning a home and the cost of renting and the cost of living has really gotten to the point. Understand the cost of living isn't some bullshit number, right? Like the cost of living is what it takes for a man to live, right? The basic premise that a man should have full walls and a roof over his head, food in his belly, a way to get to work every day, has continued to go up while his pay has stayed the fucking same. And that's something to be said. And that's something the motherfucking everybody doesn't understand. Now, the problem with this is that the United States government as a whole continues to let individuals run into this goddamn country and continues to let, them outsource our jobs, and it continues to try to supplement our, our basic population, a domestic born population with populations from the third world. because it's good for business and it drives down wages. This is something that individuals don't have that conversation about on a regular basis. And they go, oh man, because people always talk about this in the crime thing. And this is something that we should have solved a long time ago in the end of the day, when it really comes down to it. This is something that I've been railing against since, you know what I'm saying? Yo, memes, what up? This is something that I've been railing against since back in like 2015, really, 2016, 2015. That we shouldn't be talking about the immigrants and the means of crime, because that's not what's important. Like, we need to stop that fucking conversation dead in its tracks. Like, every time somebody starts that conversation around you or starts that conversation with you in Discord or Twitter, tell that nigga shut the fuck up. What the problem is that he's driving down wages for the rest of us. That he's driving up the cost of housing. That he's driving up the cost of transportation. That he's driving up the cost of education. That his children are standing here driving up the cost of social services around you. And that's something that we don't want to, that nobody wants to have a conversation about. It's the burden, right? It's the burden that the domestic population has to fucking stand here and deal with. While the government really doesn't have the motherfucking mentality that its people are important. This is something that nobody really wants to talk about. And all these individuals that showed up, yesterday, down in DC and went to this protest, and all the individuals who have been going to Donald Trump rallies, understand that's these people. That's these individuals here. And there's not as many of them as you would think. It's probably something more like 40% of white individuals who feel like this country don't give a fuck about them, because it doesn't, right? This country's trying to buy the votes of individuals, right? It's important that we understand that they're trying to buy the votes of individuals really who, let's be perfectly honest here, don't give a fuck about them, that don't trust the government, that don't want to deal with the government, that really don't pay a whole lot in taxes, right? They're trying to buy their votes because it maintains their fucking basic way of having power. It allows them to continue to work the system, to be able to motherfucking line their pockets. That's something that, again, we need to have a conversation about. This is something that has to be what it is. So I propose a new way of doing things, right? I'm proposing a new political party. It's called the Leave Me Alone Party. Now, this Leave Me Alone Party is a basic premise. The reason why we're starting this party in this manner, the reason why we're naming it this, is because of the fact that it's a simple thing for everybody to get. And most Americans are stupid, all right? Most Americans don't have the IQ points to be able to understand libertarianism or fucking anarcho-capitalism. Now, they don't understand basic democracy when it really comes down to it. They don't know what you say universal suffrage to the average human being, they really have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And this is the problem, is that everybody is motherfucking not educated, right? It's that simple. Not everybody is goddamn educated enough to understand the fucking complex motherfucking societies that we're trying to run and build through around this fucking country as a whole. But a man shouldn't be allowed to have his family and his guns and his Bible and his fucking land and be left to himself. It's that simple. A man should have the right to exist without the government telling him what he needs to do so. You should not be forced to stand here and pay the government tribute or to meet any type of governmental standards. How you raise your children is your business. How you raise your family is your business. The way you deal with yourself is your business. The way you keep your land is your business. It's your shit. These are your property. We need to get back to that. That you worked hard for what the hell it is you have. You make sacrifices for all the things that you have. That's something that nobody talks about. That's something that individuals need to understand. And this basic premise of leave me alone can solve all of this. Now, my brother TK Mao in the chat made a really good, in the Discord, made a really good point about this. By the way, what up, everybody? It's nice to see you out here, right? He said we should just take over the Republican Party because the structure is already there. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the Republican Party is worth motherfucking saving at this point, just to be perfectly honest with you. It's where my mentality is. Anybody who wants to join the stream, by the way, the link is in the Discord. Always make sure that everybody has the opportunity to say their piece. If anybody has any ideologies, if anybody has something to say, it is what it is. Right now, YouTube is cracking down on individuals. And, let's be honest here. Google, Twitter, and Facebook then banned Donald Trump off their fucking platforms. The sitting president, the most powerful man in the world. As far as I'm concerned, I would drone strike those fucking facilities. But really, the honest to God's truth is, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm not real sure what to tell you about that. The balls that it takes to ban the leader of the free world. I'm not real sure, like, at what point they would understand that we mean business. Really. Torsten, what up, man? Captain Trips. It's nice to motherfucking meet. Nice to see you out here. Fat Andy, Psycho, Donovan Worland, Jacob. I'm saying? All my niggas out in the chat right now. It is nice to see y'all. Adam Hart's first person here. Love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Now, with this being said, Cass Wolfox, what's up, my brother? Right. Now, understand something. These individuals in the Republican Party are in a fight for their lives right now. And they're not interested in standing up for their principles. They're not interested in standing up for their constituents. They're not interested in standing up for any of us. They're just trying to survive. That's something that I'm not sure, that I can be okay with. At some point, you have to stand up as a man and stand up for what you believe in. Now, I'll be honest. A lot of people have been feeding you a whole lot of bullshit recently. And I've been trying to tell you that, individuals are feeding you bullshit. If you've been listening to any of these MAGA channels, if you've been listening to any of these guys, I actually had a guy even on here every Sunday night I do a fucking stream with. He listens to a lot of people who are fucking retarded. All right. Anybody told you that Donald Trump had a chance of staying in fucking office after January? They're fucking dumber than a bag of hammers. I'll be perfectly real. I knew the way the wind was blowing. I know what the hell's going to happen. People are allergic to responsibility. That's a fact of life. That's something we have to understand and make peace with. It's nothing we can really do about that. But it is important to stand here and understand that what will happen is a result of what has happened. That's important to understand as well. Donald Trump not getting reelected is a direct result of individuals not standing up for him. It's a direct result of individuals not fighting when the time mattered. The problem is that nobody was willing to take anything to the mattresses. And if you haven't noticed that over the past 2 years, you've been fucking blind. While you watch cities burn to the ground and, commies take over fucking local districts, nobody came in with guns. Nobody came in and clipped them. Nobody went to war. They weren't really brawling in the streets. You know what that means? Individuals weren't willing to put anything on the line for this. Not their freedom, not their sacred honor, not their respect, not their dignity. And when nobody's even willing to go that far, even the young, what are you going to do? Right? What are you really going to do? How far do you think you're going to get politically if nobody's even willing to put anything on the line? That's the reality of it. These Democrats, these young Democrats, they're out here in the streets marching, burning shit down, breaking windows. Are the Republicans? No. Are the individuals who are fighting for their families in their homes? No. They're comfortable. They're in their house with their TV. They're in their house with their motherfucking surround sound. They're in their house and they got their fucking sob out front. They're comfortable. It's not until you're uncomfortable that you fight. That's just the reality. Things don't change until they have to. People don't change until they have to. That's an understanding that a lot of people just completely lost over this bullshit. Man, listen. And here's the other little bullshit too as well, right? It's highly important to understand that you can't blame anybody but yourselves for what's going on right now. Right. That's something that, You know, let me get this bitch a wrench, Miss Clementine. Here you go, have a fucking wrench. Welcome to the chat. Yo, man, look, motherfucking Mitch, nigga. Of course, this is an open goddamn invite. The goddamn fucking link is in my Discord, right? Yo, I always put the link for almost every stream in my goddamn Discord and shit. Little bullfrog, have yourself a wrench. Please come join me, my friend. I was hoping somebody would hop in there. I was actually hoping TK Mal would come out, but you know what I'm saying. Yes, Mitch, this is always an open invite. If you were in my Discord, you know what I'm saying? Please come and hang out. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the world is full of idiots. Like, legit. Nobody ever went broke betting on how dumb Americans are. You know what I'm saying? What do you call somebody who speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call somebody who only speaks 1? An American. Yo, that's just the reality of the matter. Americans are fucking stupid. Mitch, what up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? In deep thought, you know what I mean? Fucking just trying to meditate and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
What's going on with you?
As it turns out, I'm rather stressed about everything that's going on.
Why?
And I like you, I'm trying to like maintain the calm.
What are you stressed out about?
I'm stressed out because it's getting harder and harder to see a way out of it.
There isn't one.
Thanks.
What are you talking about? There is no way out.
Like, no, there isn't. And
it's okay.
And I saw how you posted is it time for a new political party?
Yeah.
And that's really what got my attention because Arthur and I have put together a fake political party called the Liberty and Restoration Movement, or the Liberty and Restoration Party.
Okay, let's talk about this because I think a name is important, right?
Yes. Now,
do you know why MAGA works?
Yeah, because it's simple.
It's basic, right?
Yeah.
So, do you really think the average American is going to understand liberty and restoration?
No, but like I said, it is a fake party, and we chose that name because when you spell out just the initials, it spells LARP.
Oh, got you. All right.
You know, it's a live action role play. It really is.
I got you. Right. Yeah. So my mentality is this, right? My mentality is the leave me alone party.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's so simple that everyone can grasp it.
Yeah, in many ways, just a simple fuck off party.
It's really simple. It's like, a basic.
What are you doing with that car in your front yard? Fuck off.
Yep. Leave me alone, bitch. Stick a bumper sticker on that motherfucker that says, leave me alone. Right? It's that fucking simple. It's a basic premise, and I think it'll work.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I mean, I think it's the most brilliant political idea that's been out here in probably 50 fucking years because there just hasn't been anything other than MAGA, right? Make America Great Again. That was a great fucking slogan.
Yes.
Right. But the reality is that, you know, what the fuck are you going to do to make America great again?
Well, that's the problem is that it's the word make, because that implies that some massive action and effort has to take place. And really all you have to do is stop with the massive action and effort. And I mean, and when I say you, I don't mean the likes of you and I mean like the likes of a Congress, or more specifically, a legislature, an executive branch, a judiciary. They need to do less. They need to do less.
That was kind of my whole premise.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, yo, y'all are stepping on my fucking toes entirely too much.
Yeah. Do less. Get out of my way.
Yeah. Simple. This is a simple premise, and I think everybody can grasp it. It's really simple. I had a buddy of mine. He said, like, yo, it's going to be really hard to start a new political party. And I'm like, I don't think it is. I just think we have to talk to the right people to get it done.
Quite possibly, but I'm really kind of disenchanted with the concept of the party system to begin with.
Yo, man, there's no movement without motherfucking. I know, but there's no movement without getting it to without people. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. It's you know, it's Because the perfect storm in my brain is Hermits United. you know, get
I feel
together
you.
once every 10 years in a cave and discuss hermitude. I guess.
Right. All right. And
But
here's
basically the thing about a hermit is they leave you alone.
I agree with you, and I don't have a problem with a hermit. I have no problem with somebody, and like this is the basic premise of my life because I live in Pennsylvania. You're from around these neck of the woods, right?
Ish. I'm in Michigan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm in Pennsylvania, so like we have what's known as property taxes in Pennsylvania. A lot of fucking states don't know what that is, but it's a really simple thing. So every year you have to pay a certain percentage of the value of your home to the goddamn local municipality. Right.
Yep.
So that means if you lose your job and you're out of work for 6 months or a year, whatever the case might be, or, you get hurt or heaven forbid, you get old, whatever the case might be. Right. You still have to pay that money on that fucking house.
Yeah.
Right. Why can't you just leave people alone?
Exactly. What's the point of buying property if you don't really own it? Because you're paying rent is what it is.
Yeah. Like, for instance, like my grandmother pays $6,000 a year in property tax for a home she paid 12 grand for back in the 60s.
Yeah. And, they come by and they'll, this gets back to your leave me alone bit. They'll come by and they'll do an assessment. What do they call that?
Yeah.
Oh, that is the word. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's a property tax assessment. Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course they're going to inflate the number so that you have to pay more.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like that's why they want the property values to go up because they get more money as the property values go up. That's why they that's why they, have all these things about cutting your grass and shit, not being in your yard. It's basically like having a homeowners association, what I'm saying, but you're living in a goddamn neighborhood and you don't pay any and you don't have like a fucking HOA.
Right.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit.
Don't get me started on the HOA.
Oh, I fucking hate HOAs. I think they're fucking awful. Right. Dingleberry, fucking my boy's in the chat right now. He said my property tax is about $6,000. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how this fucking works. Our neck of the woods is fucking ridiculous out here.
And that's why I proposed the tax plan I proposed is, everyone pays the same, every legal entity, which means every person, every business, even the churches. I don't care. If you're a legal entity, you all pay the same percentage rate in taxes.
Yeah.
And you get rid of all the returns, you get rid of all the deductions, you get rid of all the loopholes, you get rid of all the bullshit, and you have a straight, no nonsense tax code. Everyone pays the same amount. If you still have to file, you could do it on the back of a business card.
Well, how about no more filing?
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. With our system, you wouldn't have to file because it's done. And that is an income tax. And I believe the way I presented it was that taxes cannot exceed 10% of your annual income.
Yeah. I got an even better idea, right? Like, what if we just take 10% before it goes into your goddamn account? Every fucking
that's what I mean.
In your account, just take 10% of.
That's
right?
why.
And then we stop filing.
Yeah,
like no
I
more
agree.
filing bullshit. No more garbage. You know what I'm saying about, fucking we have to do this or that or whatever the case might be. Like, no more of this bullshit. Like, no more income taxes, no more loopholes, no more deductions, no more motherfucking garbage of having to fill out 18,000 forms and, deal with the fucking IRS. And we just take 10% and you fucking leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Like, again, this is why this leave me alone shit works so well.
Yeah.
Like, legit. You know what I mean?
It basically, if you want to swim in my toilet, I'm going to come shit in your pool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing I'm really, the only way that will work, or the only way it will happen, is Americans have to stop being apathetic and impotent when it comes to politics.
Well, I think you need to fucking pay a price for fucking voting. Right? There has to be some trade-off for voting. You cannot have universal suffrage. What is it?
There is. Yeah, we do have it. When we vote, we get more tyranny. That's the payoff.
Well, no. I mean,
When
like
we
there
don't
has
vote,
to,
we get more tyranny.
no, there
Right.
has to be some type of some like bar that says like this is why you vote. You know what I mean? There has to be something you give up to vote so that you take pride in that shit.
Well, yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we already do give up time to do it, but that's difficult to measure because
Oh,
there are outside influences. You got traffic, you got how long is the line, you got all that stuff. Did your alarm clock go off? So I don't think that would count.
well, I mean, this is kind of the point, right? I mean, like you have to pay something to vote. Like you have to have some like bar for entry, right? Of voting. You have to have like something. You know what I mean? Like I personally think we should have poll tests again. You know what I mean? Like fucking if you want to vote, you have to pass some type of entrance exam.
I would say a constitutional competency test.
Yeah.
With particular focus on the Bill of Rights.
Absolutely. You know
But
what I mean?
I think that needs to, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that needs to be in place before any politician gets ballot access.
Well, well, okay, that needs to happen. But also on top of that, but the voter needs to know this stuff.
Yes.
like
the school system used to teach it. It doesn't anymore.
No, I never learned any of this shit in school. I had to learn it when I left.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. And I'm fucking 50 years old.
Like, I'm gonna tell you like this. I was 16 sitting in the goddamn cell and I signed my own confession because I had no idea I was entitled to an attorney.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like these are things that individuals should know.
Yep.
As a whole. You know what I mean? As a person in the United States of America, you should know your fucking rights so they don't get violated.
Yeah, and at the very least, you should know the Bill of Rights.
Yeah. I mean, this is where we are. And again, I say poll tests.
Yep.
You cannot have universal suffrage. Like it's that simple. You cannot have everyone vote. Like it's that simple. Well, so next thing, guy, like, and that's something else like we need to understand as well. Like you have to understand that white people are a minority in this country at this point.
There is no minority and there is no majority as far as I'm concerned. We need to put that shit behind us and just say, you know what? We're Americans.
No, you have to have a culture for that.
Well, yeah, we need to build it.
Well, again, we have to have a culture for that. And the problem is this is a continent. It's not a country.
Yes.
And there's people on every part of this continent. And each part of this continent is going to have its own culture.
Well, yes, but I think name another country in either North or South America that has America in its name. Okay, then.
Panama.
Well,
you know, I mean, Panama.
But, you got Canada, you got Peru, you got Brazil, you've got Mexico.
You know, but yeah,
they're not. None of them are named America like the United States of America is named America.
This is true.
So right? I think just, hey, we're Americans. Don't. We should penalize people for trying to divide us.
No, because like naturally there are divisions, and that's fine, right? And that's fine. That's not a problem. But
I mean, I'm talking like race baiters, for example. When people try to divide us along racial lines, when they try to divide us along economic lines, those lines exist. Yes, there are demarcations that exist. But when those hucksters get out there and try to say that you don't get to have due process because you can't afford a good attorney, I say bullshit. Yes, you do. Stop trying to stir up shit. We need to be better at detecting and avoiding bullshit in this country.
Well, you can't. Like, you can't, because all right, number one, you have a for-profit media, right? Which I'll be honest with you, is trash. It's fucking trash. You know what I mean? Our media is utterly and fucking completely garbage.
Yes,
right.
It is.
It's fucked. So like when you have individuals who's in their interest to continue to spew garbage in order to get fucking ratings, and you have an uneducated populace who don't know the difference between, the POTUS and the SCOTUS, fucking, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It's a really sad state of affairs.
I mean, the average American can't name 3 Supreme Court justices.
Nope.
So what are you really gonna, what are you gonna expect from a population who is completely uneducated on how their country works?
That's part of the problem is when we talk about how we're going to have to start teaching this stuff to our people again. That's not a solution that's going to happen in 4 years, let alone 10. It's going to be like 20 years worth of effort to get people back up to snuff when it comes to understanding their civics.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But like, here's the thing. What you have to understand is that America is a continent, and this is probably the greatest continent that's ever existed, like that exists on the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes life very easy for us. And so therefore, like, people fucking tend not to have a hard time just surviving. And, like, we're able to stand here and have both a dumb population and the world's greatest GDP. Because we can, right? We have the largest arable fucking section of land in the goddamn world, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as growing concerned, the Mississippi River has more fucking miles, and it's the Mississippi River system has more miles of navigable waterway than all the rest of the world combined.
And look where we are.
I'm saying we're fine. As far as like, making money and fucking like being okay, we're fine. But the problem is that our political system is driving us down a road of fucking socialism because of the fact that we decided that exponential growth is more important than actually having a decent fucking populace.
Well, see, that is a short-term, that's short-term thinking, if you ask me.
Well, it is, but we have an economic system that's based on what's good for the next quarter and what's not, and not what's good for the next 10 years.
Right.
Like there's some parts of this fucking, like, that's part of that whole Great Reset thing, is like they want to start having companies be judged on that, right? And I don't like, that's not a bad idea, right? But on the same point, you have to, how do I put this, man? You have to take the government away, right, from some situations and have a strong one at the same point on the other hand. Like, for instance, Google and Facebook and Apple and shit should all be broken up, right? Like they should all be fucking disintegrated and shattered to the fucking wind. But on the same point, they need to get off the backs of individuals who are just trying to start all small businesses.
Yeah. I agree. There's you're right. It's difficult to put into words. But there's, for one thing, government needs to stop letting lobbyists write legislation. If you're elected to office as a legislator and you can't write legislation, you're not a legislator. You need to go away. Now, just so I'm not making that an absolute, if you have people working for you who can, and you work with them, yes, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, I have no problem with like their assistants and their people, like their legal team or whatever, like to, help them fucking stand here and go through, writing a proper piece of fucking legislation. But again, we got to have a conversation about, fucking all the writers that are on everything that goes through.
Yep.
Like if you're going to pass, say like a basic fucking bill about, the budget or fucking expanding some program or whatever, you can't have 15 different goddamn writers and have it end up like when they passed the CARES Act. Why is that 2,000 pages?
It's because everybody wants something out of it.
Like it doesn't need to be that fucking long.
No, it doesn't
need that much bullshit pork in it.
It really doesn't. I'll tell you what, though, I spend a fair amount, not a huge amount of time, but a fair amount of time when I get a stick up my ass about a certain representative. I'll go check their voting record. And I'm going to tell you what, I predict in the next 2 to 10 years, the voting record is going to be turned private in this country.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't think they legally can do that.
Well, what I've read from what I remember reading in the Constitution, it says there must be a record, but it doesn't say it must be publicly available.
Well, any type of request can be released. Like you can't redact fucking voting. I mean, like the only bills that they vote on that can be redacted are like for the continuation of government, and fucking black ops and things of this nature that matter for like national security. But other than that, they can't mark confidential on any type of voting record as far as
you can't legislate from the bench either, but they do.
What do you mean they legislate? Who legislates from the bench?
Judges. I mean, not in every case, obviously, but they're Justice Roberts, for example, when he reviewed the Affordable Care Act,
right?
He decided that the word fine meant the word tax, and therefore deemed the Affordable Care Act constitutional on that basis. That's legislating from the bench.
Oh yeah.
Just so they can't do that, because they're in the wrong branch of government to legislate, but they do it anyway. If they want to make the voting record of our representatives classified or private or whatever word they want to give it, they're going to do it. I have that little faith in our government at this point.
Stone Mexican guy, you're not wrong. All right. I know Americans did this to themselves by being ignorant fucks. And that's what we're saying. Americans are dumb. Right? Legit. That's why I'm suggesting the leave me alone party, because it's simple.
Pretty much. I mean,
people are stupid.
How long have you ask almost anyone, do you trust the Democrats and the Republicans? They're going to say no. Yet who constantly gets voted in?
Like, of course, I've been
being nice.
Like recently, I've been trying to get in shape, so I'm going on like a lot of walks and jogs and things of this nature, right? And I'm walking like 3 miles a day. And as I'm walking up and down these streets, you see, all the political signs out or whatever, right? And people's backs and front yards and stuff. And the one that stand out to me, right? Fucking Torsten, that's a goddamn great idea. I'll be honest with you. But I'll be real, man. Lancaster's getting expensive. That motherfucker's overpacked. I'm not sure like where you're looking at in Lancaster, but if you're going to go head towards that way, I would go towards the river on the western side of the county. But anyway, right. Americans, where was that? Americans are dumb. Was that?
Yeah, that's where we were.
Yeah, Americans are dumb.
On your walks, political signs.
Political signs. Okay, so in the people's yards and fucking like doors and shit, what they have up is they say, any grown adult 2020. Right. And I'm standing here going, I'm like, this is the problem. Right. As a whole, this is the issue. It's not so much that like individuals are just plain stupid as, like it is, they're fucking dumb. But on the same point, they think that the language and the tone that individuals use with each other dictates their IQ.
Yeah, they're wrong about that.
Look
at us. We're throwing profanity back and forth, not in a hostile way toward each other, obviously, but it clearly we're not entirely stupid. We put thought into things.
Do you know how many channels I'm banned from?
I have no idea.
Oh, there's like 10 of them. And like, there's a dude who legitimately, I gained him all his subs. He has 1,400 subs right now. I gained him all of his subs. Right.
Damn.
Put him in deep. I can't go on his channel because he's monetized and you don't want to fuck it up by having me on it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's kind of the point. And SMG, I completely agree with you, buddy. Completely. Like, I don't care. like I would much rather sound like an idiot when I'm out here basically having a conversation with somebody and then come out of left field and hit them with some shit and they go, oh my God, like, oh fucking, how am I gonna sit here, and really, fucking deal with this dude because I wasn't expecting to have to deal with somebody with an IQ. That's kind of the point, right? Anyway, so Psycho, what up, nigga?
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Except for, all this bullshit going on.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, with the whole starting a new party thing, I think that's a great idea. I'm sure you've seen in chat that I said that I plan on primarying against Kevin McCarthy because fuck that guy. He's done nothing for us.
Hey man, I'll put you on. You know what I mean? Like whatever I can do for you, let me know. I will help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just tired of all these people who say, "Oh yeah, we're here to help. We're here to help," and then the second they get any bit of trouble, they go, "Well, I'd rather not, stir waves and rock the boat." And it's like, oh, what the fuck? 200 years ago, if you didn't make waves, then you weren't in the political party.
Like, yo, so they don't want people like Donald Trump. He rocked the boat on a different level. Like, all right, we've been divorcing the world for probably about 30 years now, like ever since the Soviet wall fell. And, Donald Trump just did it much quicker than they were accustomed to. And they didn't want to lose all their fucking ability to manufacture products with fucking child labor and shit.
Yeah.
Well, my main ticket that I'm going to run on is, obviously kill all these giant corporations that have overwhelming power over the American people, and every single congressperson should have their accounts audited and their immediate family audited to make sure that they're
I can tell you right now immediately why that's going to fail.
Due process?
What's going to fail?
His idea, mostly because Americans are complacent morons who just care about stuffing their faces, and as long as they're comfy, they don't care about shit burning down around them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I've been saying this for a while now.
Well, yeah, that's true, but still, it's worth just putting it up there so that way.
Kevin McCarthy, Psycho. I think we're from around this. We're from around the same area because I remember when that dude was running against Leticia Perez, and he ran on a campaign of, "Hey, I build jobs, I hire people, I'm going to work for you." And then as soon as he got in, he just like threw out his cowboy hat and conformed, and he's been a shill ever since.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that dude. I didn't trust him or Leticia Perez. I'm like, you both suck. I don't trust either of you.
Yeah, and was it 4 years ago or something like that when he was having his primary? Didn't even show up to the fucking debates.
Nope.
Did not even show up to the debates. And I knew the guy who was going against him, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're a veteran, you're libertarian, you've got all this stuff. And McCarthy just said, I'm not even going to bother going to the debates. And it was just like, so people voted him.
Well, yeah, because the area where he was voted from is it's like the last enclave of Republicanism in California, like the Bakersfield, Lancaster area, all that. That's where all the last of the California rednecks are, pretty much. But that's really dying out, like quickly. They're all fleeing.
Yeah,
who wouldn't?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's only like, I want to say maybe 60% red here now. When I moved here,
yeah, it used to be made more because like when I first moved out to that area, because originally I'm from Central California, a small town called Avenal, that's like right by Fresno. When I moved out to Bakersfield, it was like around 2007, 2008 before like it expanded. It was still kind of small, and then all these fucking idiots from LA came in and just made it worse. So I left.
Hey! I'm one of those idiots from LA that moved up here.
But you're not the ones that were crying about how it's not like LA, and then they opened up all these like wannabe nightclubs in Bakersfield that were trash, full of fat Mexican women that were acting like they were hot.
But well, I'm not
That
actually
controversy.
from LA. I'm from Orange County because Orange County used to be red.
Same shit. L.A., Orange County. It's all just one
No,
thing.
Orange County used to be very Republican. It was the counter to LA. It was okay. You want to live in the big city area. If you're a leftist, you live in LA County. If you're on the right, you would live in Orange County. And then just as property taxes just kept going up and up and up, people who have money go, fuck this, I'm out. And traffic.
I don't have
Traffic
much
down
time for
there
my
is
dead
just
zone because I'm working. I'm about to hit a dead zone. I just wanted to say a few things. One, the MAGA Tard March yesterday is just going to freaking make things worse for everyone else that didn't want to do anything. This is going to be like their Charlottesville times 5. We're there with the rally people. He was with people that invaded the terrorists. So that's going to be fun to watch. Mask off for all these goddamn politicians who act like they care about you. So now everybody sees nobody gives a shit about you. That's the only one good thing about this. That's what I really appreciate out of all the shit show, is people are finally seeing that none of these fucking politicians care about them. None of them. They all get everybody that you vote for, everybody that you that acts like they care about you. Until there's like something tangible that they do for you, they're going to f you. They're going to f you so freaking hard. Even Ocasio-Cortez's people felt it. She knifed them so freaking quick you could tell she was Puerto Rican.
Yeah, the only person that I have faith in the entire fucking system is Rand Paul.
I don't. I think he's a shield too. He's just better at hiding it.
I think he's a piece of shit too.
I'm having
how long has that asshole been up there and he ain't got nothing done? He just says a few good things. He's like the bone they throw at people. He's like, see, we got a guy in there. Yeah, fuck yeah. Look at Rand Paul. That's my guy. And I think like backstage, he's like high-fiving him. Like, can you believe these motherfuckers are still buying this shit?
Yeah, Ron Paul was the last one I believed in. I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't
but
believe that.
Rand takes a lot after his dad.
I don't.
No,
think
he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's just lucky he can grift off his dad's name. That's all he's really doing. He's like the mailman. What's that fat chick that her dad was John McCain's daughter?
Oh, Meghan McCain.
Yeah, he's just a dude, Meghan McCain, but instead of the View, he got a political position.
Well, yeah,
That's all he is.
You're not wrong.
No, I have to agree. I mean, all Meghan McCain does is constantly try to fillet her father's corpse.
Did you ever see that clip of that fat guy in a dress pretending to be Meghan McCain where he's like, my father is going to have sex with me and we're going to have a baby that's going to be raised or some shit like that? It was really funny. But, yeah, I think you can even find supercuts of Meghan McCain just saying my father and my dad because that's all she fucking does. It's like Chelsea Clinton. What has Chelsea Clinton done except have a really nice ass and be Clinton's daughter? That's it.
Well, I think she almost fucked Beavis and Butthead at one point.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. That was great. With her fucking princess and shit.
Well, yeah, they keep trying to make Chelsea Clinton the thing, and it's going to fail because no one gives.
Well, because everybody hates Hillary. Like, if Hillary Clinton was never a thing, Chelsea would have a better chance because people have good memories of Bill.
Yeah.
But Hillary's an insufferable cunt. Oh, and here's another thing too. You know, when Hillary Clinton was running for president, my cousin from Mexico was sitting there openly mocking Hillary Clinton's twitches. And I'm like, this bitch is from Mexico and she's making fun of this hoe. She's not going to win. But all right, I'm about to hit the dead zone. I'm out. Hey, Pinoy, you know I love you, right, baby? It's all love.
Man,
you know that.
I love you too, man. You know the deal.
You know we're about to go to the gay bathhouse and get our jerk on. You're gonna be bending my spaghetti. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, we're gonna get it done. You know the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Get that shit done. You know I'm Mexican. You know I work for less, baby, and twice as hard.
Yo, put that hole in the wall for me, all right?
Hell yeah, I am. I'm already punching it in. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Later, buddy.
Groovy.
Didn't even fucking bring us tacos.
None of my ears are done getting raped. Yo, it's all right, man. It's all right. Nigga working. He making that money, doing what he got to do. But yeah, man, fucking, I'm not a fan of Rand Paul either. Like, I'll be honest with you. That guy there, legit, like, there's too many times he's voted to go drone strike shit. Like, I can't get behind him.
When Arthur and I wrote our book, I think we sort of half-ass accidentally created a political platform, and that's the basis on which we are. That's the thing that we base the Liberty and Restoration Party platform on. We actually have the platform written, and we're planning to put it up on our website as a just as a reference point. We're not a real political party.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I don't know,
but it's good to have something that serves as a contrast to what the political parties offer.
Everybody is their own political party. It's just you ally with somebody bigger.
Typically, yeah. But I got to warn you, don't count on the libertarians.
No.
Never count on the libertarians. It's hurting cats.
I mean,
have you ever heard Penn Jillette talk?
Oh yeah.
I tell you, I did a video about him a little while back, and like legit, he was saying, "I'll tell you what, I'll let you keep your welfare and your Social Security," and I'm like, "Wait, what? You can't be a libertarian and have either one of those things. It's not how this works."
There is one way, actually, that he can pull that off.
Go ahead. What is it?
The only way to do that, really, I'll let you keep your welfare and your Social Security. The only way that works is you don't deduct it from their paycheck in the first place.
Then you don't have it.
I'm good with that.
But you see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, like you don't.
You have it, but it's under a different name.
You can't.
It's called your money.
Yeah, you can't have it in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I was just standing here and I'm like, you're not a libertarian. Like, you can't be a libertarian at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that, like, we've come, like, it's really what it is we killed God and replaced it with government.
In many ways, yes. And I say that as an atheist.
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and like that's where I'm at. I'm a Roman Catholic, and I'm gonna tell you like this: what they did was they killed God, replaced it with government, and now everybody thinks that the government is their God, and it's the person that they pray to solve their problems in the way that the church used to.
Yep.
I say we should just make a Gogi great again.
Yagogi?
Yeah.
Like grab like 7-year-olds and take them off and train them how to do battle and shit.
Yeah, learn how to be a fucking
work
adult.
For the Jedi.
I agree with you, like completely. That I think, and I've said this before. I think we should revamp our fucking education system to get to the point where, like, well, number one, it should be voluntary, right? If you want your kid educated, that should be a voluntary thing, right? But secondly, at some point, you should have a conversation with the kid and like sit down and test him to see what he's good at. And then whatever he's good at, you put him in that rather than continuing to teach him math and reading and science and art.
I think the rudimentary things of education are important, like, simple math, communication.
Yeah, simple math, simple reading.
Just so that way we don't create people who are too stupid to exist.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Right. But after that, right, say after like 6th or 7th grade, right? Because, at 6th grade, you should be reading at a level where most adults read right now, right? Your reading skills really don't improve a whole lot after 6th grade. Your vocabulary might, but like really your reading ability isn't going to.
Well, your vocabulary is in many ways dependent upon your reading level.
Yeah. And if you're good at reading, you're probably not going to be put into something like a trade school, where, you're going to go learn how to like, stack bricks or, fucking do logistic work or fucking learn how to weld or learn how to fucking fabricate, whatever the case might be. I think that's important, right?
Hey, Ghost Dog.
Because what up, Ghost Dog? Nice to see you out here, my brother. Right. Miss Clementine, you've been super active. Thank you for coming out. It's appreciated. Right. I think it's fucking highly important that you stand here and you have kids doing shit that they're good at. Right.
Well, yeah. They keep talking all this pop psychology nonsense in the public school system about, everyone gets a trophy because they don't want to be exclusionary and all that stuff. But you know what? A kid who wants to succeed is going to succeed at something. Most of that stuff is based on their interest.
Well, I say we get rid of fucking sports.
I say we get rid of.
No,
I don't think we should get rid of sports. I think sports is actually a good thing. But
Right.
the music programs and the art programs need to be in place again too.
I think the music and art programs need to be gotten rid of.
I don't think so, because that exercises a different part of the brain, and that's actually healthy.
Like,
Yeah,
I'll be honest, like, dude,
spatial awareness.
I played 3 instruments, all right? And like legit, like I was in jazz band and I was in honors fucking
That
orchestra
was your
and shit.
problem. You did jazz.
Right. Like like they had very few offerings, right? But I'll be honest with you, I failed art every year since kindergarten.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why it's an elective. I don't think it should be a. Again, I think that's the kind of stuff that is tailored around the kid's interest, and not that you have to take several credits of art to graduate high school. No, none of that shit.
Yeah, I still have problems drawing stick figures.
So do
Yeah,
I. I mean, I suck at it.
Yo, they had to bring in specialty teachers to teach me how to color in the lines.
And the lines are just arbitrary.
Yeah, that's how I've always felt about things, like
I
that's
mean,
where I get down to. And I'm a
Lines
truck
are
driver.
just white man's constriction on you.
Right.
Well, see,
Right.
coloring something isn't as much of the art as drawing something is.
Well, let me also
it's
say
a different
this,
element of it, but it's not the same. Go on.
let me say this too. And as far as sports are concerned, and I understand we're on the internet and there's a whole lot of how do I put this, incels who don't know how to fucking use their body, right?
Hey, I might resemble that.
Right. But let me tell you, as somebody who was good at fucking music and good at reading and legitimately played fucking middle linebacker, center fielder, fucking point guard, like legit, you know what I mean? Like, yo, being good at sports is not, you know what I'm saying, like a bad thing. You should like have an opportunity to learn how to be competitive with other, men and things of this nature.
Not only that, I mean, it's a weird, it seems like a contradiction in a way, but both sports and music can teach competition and, what's the other word? The opposite of competition.
Collaboration.
Collaboration, yes. It
Well,
can
let
teach
me-
both things, and that's.
let me also say this.
brilliant.
Let me also say this. Like, you're also talking to a dude who won every Scholastic Reading Award there was. Right. I have pictures of me as a kid in the newspaper with like Muppets and shit at fucking like local amusement parks where like I was like the star attraction because of the amount of books I read every goddamn year.
Well, when I say do away with sports, I don't mean get rid of them entirely. I mean get rid of the culture that celebrates it. Where we have assholes like Kaepernick who suck and they get worshipped. And
he wasn't that bad of a quarterback. Is just like, I'll be honest with you, like he was most definitely on a downcline, and so was the team as a whole. I'm a Niners fan, and like I like Kaepernick to a certain point as a player, but like fucking he got really political on some dumb shit, and the problem is he's uneducated is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, he's not famous. He's no longer a sports figure. He's a political figure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is we put these people into high esteem, and then because they're good at sports, we somehow think that they know something about politics. They've been flipping over those giant tires for 18 years. What the fuck do they know about politics? Shut the fuck up. Keep to your lane.
Let's be fair.
That's a problem of the media. That's not a problem of the people, right?
Let's be fair though too. Like the example of Pinoid himself. He's good at many things. A lot of people are good at more than one thing. I mean, your career doesn't dictate the only thing you can do.
And not only that, like here's go ahead, Psycho. I'm sorry. You keep interrupting.
It doesn't dictate, but it definitely leans some weight against it.
I'll agree with you that if you're a sports star, let's take it out of that. If you're a famous musician and you start bouncing around talking politics, the politics you're talking had better make some sense.
Mm-hmm.
That I agree with.
But the issue is we live in a society. Oh God, I hate saying that. Well, we live in a society where we praise people who are ignorant.
Yes, we do. Right, but that's
Captain
because of that's because of star status. And all right, number one, you have to remember who Kaepernick was. Right, Kaepernick was also a guy who legitimately, a guy named Alden Smith was on his team. Right, and Alden Smith was defensive lineman for the Niners. Right, I think he was a tackle. And this dude here, he legit, Kaepernick went and fucked his girl. And fucking Alden Smith got so mad and drunk that he went after fucking Kaepernick with a gun at a bar and then rammed his fucking car 4 or 5 times.
That seems reasonable.
Seems to me he didn't finish the job.
Yeah.
Right. But like the thing is that, fucking Kaepernick is that type of person.
Yeah.
Right. He's that type of guy. Like,
he's a selfish dick.
Yeah, he's a selfish piece of shit.
He's what you would call the abuser. He's the kind of guy who would jump in, fuck your shit up, and then say, well, shouldn't have let me fuck your shit up.
Yeah. And on top of that, like the reason why he's not playing anymore, somebody said fucking, I forget who it was. Fucking somebody said in the chat, they said if he would have been able to throw a slant or a fucking, hit a guy on a run, he'd be all right. Problem is like the Niners had been disassembled at that point. Right. And that's kind of really where it's at. We lost our coach. We lost most of our we lost our tight end, our running back, our wide receiver, 2 of our defensive linemen, two of our offensive linemen, and I want to say, and the kick returner. Right. So like the team had end up being like fucking disintegrated at that point. And that's why Kaepernick wasn't performing, because he didn't have the weapons around him that he had at one point. Like Crabtree was gone, Vernon Davis was gone. Two of the most productive fucking wide receivers and a tight end in the goddamn league. We lost our fucking Patrick Willis. He retired early. Fucking Joe Staley left. There was just so many dudes, and it was fucking terrible. Right. Like we got disintegrated that year that he ended up starting all that political shit. And the reason he started all that political shit is because of the fact that, he had the ability to do so because no one was paying attention to him.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's the star society that we've created has given all these luxuries to people who aren't actually a part of society. They are on the very, very fringe. You, me, and I'm sure Mitch, we're all working class.
Yes.
So we want to have our enjoyments, which at this point, I don't even watch sports. I just play video games because video games, fuck, they're easier. I don't have to deal with drama and bullshit and, oh, your team, my team. It's okay. It's me. I play my little MMORPG, run around, kill things, bullshit with people. It's fun. But we have this society where everybody wants to be a star because they think that that's a path towards fame and fortune, which fame and fortune, if you ask anybody who's, well-to-do, they actually don't really like it.
Worked for Charles Manson.
Yeah, but most people, when they get the fame and the fortune, they realize all the fucking problems that come with it.
Well, to be fair, Charles Manson got the fame.
Oh, by the way, hang on a minute. I gotta say what up. My nigga Sisyphus, right, is in the goddamn chat. The motherfucking most aesthetic one. You know what I'm saying? Got love for that dude. I just wanted to shout him out real quick. If y'all ain't check out his content, he has a great fucking channel. He used to do a morning show every morning. I don't know if he's doing it anymore. I know I'm not getting fucking notifications for it if he is, but I'll be real. You know what I mean? I got love for that dude. He's cool as shit. Like he was around when he was one of these motherfuckers who was around when I had like 50 subs and shit. Came out of Gulf City with me. You know what I mean? Just wanted to show him some love real quick.
You know what I miss?
What up?
What I miss when it comes to pro sports? I miss the days of the likes of Mean Joe Green. What's his name? William the Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah, Refrigerator Perry.
Because those guys, there was a fun element about them. They were characters. They were.
So a lot of these. Like, have you not seen fucking Antonio Brown?
No, I haven't. But I gave up on.
He showed up. He showed up to fucking practice in a hot air balloon.
No, see, I gave up on the whole sports thing a very long time ago.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm censoring, but sports should just be about sports. If you have political views, keep them to your motherfucking self.
Well, no, here's where I'm at, right? I have no problem if you want to go out and like hop on the internet when you're off. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're at home, like you can say whatever you want. You're a citizen in this country. Enjoy
Oh
yourself.
yeah.
Yes,
Right?
I agree.
Like all day long.
Don't hijack the sport to do it.
Yeah, don't hijack the game. Don't be out here, BLMing it up and doing all this retarded ass nonsense. I agree with you. Right. Like, keep that shit off the field. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll have a conversation with you all day off the field. And like, that's my big thing really is I wish that some of them would come out and have these conversations with a motherfucker like me, because I'll talk with you all day and we could talk. We don't have to sit here and yell and scream and act like assholes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's the concept of separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
The sport is the art. Yeah, you can be your artist, but just stick to the sport, and then if you want to talk away from it. Like, I fucking hate Tom Cruise as a person, but if he comes out with a movie that has decent reviews, I'm gonna go watch it.
But did you see The Mummy by the chance?
I haven't.
I've watched the Red Letter Media thing on it, and that was good.
Yo, you should literally go watch The Mummy just for the fact of I had no idea Tom Cruise was so jacked.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. I was like, yo, look at this nigga.
He's been doing his own stunts for a long ass time.
Well, Tom Cruise is a talented actor. I mean, in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
He's
just a terrible person.
I don't know about that, but because I don't care. But my thing with Tom Cruise is early in his career when he started getting big, I really got bored with anything that had Tom Cruise, because it was always a story about, okay, there's the Tom Cruise character and he's got to do something to live up to his father's reputation. Tom Cruise is a race car driver because his dad was a race car driver. Tom Cruise is works with the Judge Advocate General's office because his father worked with the Judge Advocate General. It's, oh, shut up. We get it. Daddy issues. Can we put him in a different kind of movie, please?
Well,
and then finally they did.
Yeah, did you see him in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
One of my favorites, right?
See, that was a great thing that he did in that movie.
Right.
It was like when Johnny Depp did Tusk. I doubt anyone's seen Tusk because
I have not.
It's a Kevin Smith film, and if you didn't know it was Johnny Depp, you may miss the fact that that's Johnny Depp in that movie, because they did really good makeup on him. He adopted an accent that he normally doesn't do, and he didn't play just another version of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yo, Jack Reacher is good too. I'll be honest with you, Laugh Man. That's another great one.
What I've seen of Reacher, I have liked, but I never seen the movies.
Yeah, I saw one of them, and I mean, it was fucking pretty good. I'll be honest with you. It was a good fucking movie in general. It was kind of like John Wick, but like I don't know, like less killing. Yeah. I don't know where all this gun fu came from. I have no idea.
That is the dumbest. Well, it started with that movie with not Batman. What's his name? Christian Slater. No.
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. God damn it! I love that movie.
I can't hear you now, Psycho.
Yeah, you backed off a lot from the mic.
No, I was covering my face trying to remember it.
Oh, okay.
God damn it! I love that movie too.
Oh, I can't stand that movie. Equilibrium. Yeah, it's
Equilibrium.
Got some good points, but there's a point at the end that breaks the movie for me. And it's in part the gun kata nonsense, but there's he's walking down this huge hallway. There's like probably 10 guards on each side of him, and he's going by and taking them out 2 at a time. Meanwhile, the other guys at the end of the hall aren't even looking to see what's going on, and that bothers me.
I mean, that's just Hollywood flub. But
I know, but it pulls me out of the moment, is what I'm getting at.
It's not as bad as Star Wars, where the Imperial Guards just literally just sit there and each take turns.
Yo, man, did you ever see shit? On Netflix, they got a bunch of fucking kung fu movies. They have one that is like amazing. I want to say it's called like Bang Fuck or some shit like that, or something along these type of lines.
Did you say Bang Fuck?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like it had some weird name.
That's not on Netflix. That's on Pornhub.
yeah. But it's and there's a movie on Netflix. It's a Cambodian movie, right? And like again, I might have been on fucking Pornhub, but they have like this movie where like it's this great kung fu movie. They start off with like everybody in a tree fighting, right? For like who's going to be protectorate of this village, and there's like all these fucking like 15, 16-year-old kids in a tree, and they're like fucking kung fuing it up or whatever, right? And like the whole movie is great. Like it's a great premise. Like the fucking idol gets stolen, and he got to go to the city to go find it, right? And like fucking when he's in the city, he ends up fucking like fighting some dude on the dance floor, and then like he fucking he stands here and like fucking goes through like this whole movie. It's like amazing, just great choreography, great work. And then in the end of it, you know what I'm saying? It comes up to the point where like all of a sudden, like his eyes start glowing and he has like fucking, you know what I mean? Like Mortal Kombat powers and shit.
Does
right?
it say Kamehameha?
Yeah, like it turns into Dragon Ball Z in the last 5 minutes of the fucking movie. I don't know
want
how
to hear about it unless he screams it's morphin' time.
But you know that does kind of, it's funny because we talk about all these movies that we like because it has these aspects of, you know, the raw human nature.
Right.
We all love these kind of movies, and yet our normal lives are as boring and mundane as possible because
because movies are supposed to be escapism.
Are you sure? Are you sure all of our lives are like that? I'm sorry, Tennessee, my brother.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I was about to say, like, I was just sitting listening to the conversation before I hopped in the convo, and I was about to say, like, I don't know, our lives might not be too boring for much longer. You might miss the days of your boring ass life.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. Like the past like 3 or 4 years of my life, you know, I've been in quite a few fucking like actual like real brawls and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not dealing with like the strife that goes on in Syria and shit like that. Our lives we have problems, but we're still entirely too comfortable to get up and fucking do something.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I have to agree.
You know
well, I was having a conversation similar to this in another Discord I'm in, and it seems to be like there's two aspects, at least for most people that I see. And one aspect is the leave me the fuck alone party type shit, where it's like, I just want to live in the mountains, have a couple of good friends that I know if I call them up that they're going to come to my neck of the woods, you know, lock everything down, and a good woman to lay in bed with me every night and all that type of shit. Or we need to make a new party and fucking fight the system and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know what you're fighting for anymore. Like I said on the last stream I was on Tom P's earlier stream when all that shit was kicking off in the Capitol. Putting effort, time, and money into the political system anymore is basically like putting a new engine in a car that's on blocks. Like the system.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say it's like putting an engine in a car that's on fire, because I think that's more
important. Well, that too. I mean, well, it's one of those burned out cars that are on bricks right now, but yet you're putting a new engine in it. You know what I mean?
The car's on bricks, and on top of that, it's a fucking gremlin to start with.
Yeah, it's a Ford Pinto on bricks. There's no interior, and the engine's gone. But by God, that's a brand new stereo.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's one of those things. At least when I break it down in my mind, almost every political person, every fucking demagogue that's come along, whether it's been an Obama, a Bush, a Trump, whatever, has come along and promised a return to normalcy, a brighter future for America, hope and change, make America great again, yada, yada, yada. And yet all of our freedoms slowly get eroded. There's more and more, especially with the COVID lockdowns, like I was trying to tell someone now earlier in a Discord, due to the COVID lockdowns, with them closing down mom and pop stores and all this other shit, there is more money in fewer hands, and those fewer hands are probably rich guys to begin with. Your Elon Musk, your fucking Bill Gates, your fucking the dude from Amazon, whatever fuck
Jeff
his name is.
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Thank you. So not only now do you have more money in fewer hands, the more money that's went to those fewer hands are already rich and powerful to begin with. So when you're trying to think, when I look at the political system in America the way it is right now, fundamentally, it does not do what it was designed to do. The American political system was designed for the people, by the people, to try and safeguard us from the evils of the world, while also protecting us from stuff that's too big for the individual citizen to really worry about or have a good grasp of. And now it just seems like people who are trying to, fight for Trump or fucking stop the steal and all this other shit, it's like, well, okay, yeah, I'm glad to see right wingers finally having some balls and actually sticking up for themselves.
Failed them.
Yeah, you're still fighting. You're still fighting for a one-term loser president who didn't do shit against big tech, who didn't build the fucking wall, who banned bump stocks and did a bunch of other shit that was very much not right-leaning fucking conservatism, at least not in my eyes. So it's like, what are you exactly fighting for?
Don't forget how much he spent.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he's not wrong. How much he spent? How much fucking money was printed under the fucking Trump administration? Like, but I'll be honest with you, like, yo, he was working against a system.
Yes,
right?
He was.
And that's the fucking problem.
Well, I've heard this before, and yeah, I do, and I can't remember. It might have been Mersh from Nightwave Radio was talking something about this, and I agreed. I don't agree with that guy on everything, but he said something along the lines of, I do think when Trump first got in office, the way that they smeared him, smeared his entire family, ran his name through the dirt, I do think that he was fighting the actual system for a while. But now, especially with him in this DC shit where it's like, yeah, fucking stop the steal. Yeah, fucking, we're going to take it to the fucking people. This election is fraudulent. Bye-bye. I'm getting on my fucking limo and getting the fuck out of here. And then I'm going to tweet about peace as soon as I fucking leave. It's like, what the fuck?
See, that's what I wanted to say when you said we created a government by the people, for the people. The most important thing is of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, thank you very much. That is a movie. Ong Bak was it's a Muay Thai warrior is the movie I was thinking of. You're fucking right. It was.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. It was a great fucking movie. Anybody has a chance to check it out. I think if it's still on Netflix, I don't know if it's going to be. Thank you very much.
But yeah, going back to my little fucking car analogy, the reason why I like the leave me the fuck alone party so damn much is because I don't see any reason to fight for a system that doesn't do what it's designed to do, it no longer works for me or any person who hasn't got a famous last name or millions in the bank account. Right. So why the fuck would I put my life and my future and my safety and the safety of my family, my friends, my future children on the line for a system that fundamentally does not give a damn whether I live or die?
And that's why I say of the people is such an important thing to remember.
This is the issue, right? Here's the thing, right? Here's my thing. I don't really want them to represent me. I just want them to stop people from fucking me.
Well, yeah, that's it.
Well, that would be representing you. Do your thing.
Well, yeah, but it would be representation by default and not by demand, if you know what I mean.
And here's the thing. The reason why I don't really consider myself a Republican anymore is because of all the COVID lockdowns and everything else. Although, thankfully to God, at least in my home state of Tennessee, it hasn't been nowhere near as bad as places like even North Carolina with like a 10 p.m. curfew and shit. So where I'm at, we've been reasonably, free. And the only thing you have to do is if you go in government buildings, you have to wear a mask and shit like that. You have to fucking, somewhat socially distance. There's those little fucking things that they put in a bunch of stores. That's just little stickers down on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Where it's like stand here and keep away from people type shit. But other than that, you can still go to bars.
In my area fucking listen to that shit, and I'm in California.
Yeah, no one gives. I will say one thing. The one thing I've seen a lot, unless it's used to shut down businesses, no one has really done the whole fucking 6 feet of separation or the social distancing shit. No one's really done any of that.
I don't know. We're doing that shit over here.
Well, we're
Legit,
not
you
doing
have
that
to
here because 6 feet apart and then you're wearing a mask. Nobody can fucking understand anything anybody's saying.
Oh no, we're not doing it like the cash register, but like if you're waiting in line, you know what I mean? Like fucking like most people just wait in the goddamn aisle, and then whenever the person walks away, you'll go up.
Well, I've been doing that for years just because I don't trust people.
Yeah, I always like. I'm never like I'm one of those people. I don't like to try and invade someone's personal bubble. You know,
I was just going to mention that because before the lockdown nonsense and all this horse shit, every time I would go to the store, the person behind me in line would be right up my ass. And I would have to be like, excuse me, I'm in these underpants. Get your own.
Yeah, my golden
These ones
rule
are
is,
occupied. Fuck
my
right off.
golden rule is if you're within striking distance of me, I'm within striking distance of you. Get the fuck away.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how you shift yourself. They move closer and closer. It's like, get the fuck off me.
Yeah, I don't know. It must just be different in my neck of the woods. Like we try to stay kind of further apart from people most time, unless we're with someone and it's like your girlfriend going to fucking Piggly Wiggly or whatever to go shopping with you or some shit. But
I mean, it'd be one thing if I were physically attractive.
right.
No,
right.
because then they're after your fucking wallet.
Well, I was going to ask Tom, since they're doing that in his neck of the woods, like, is there like some type of, I don't know, like, will you get in trouble in a gas station in a Wawa if you're not socially distanced? They'll tell you to separate, or sir, you need to move away from that person type shit.
You got to remember, like, this is the East Coast, right? So like in general, like you really didn't get real close to people as a whole, and if you do, you tend to like start a motherfucking massive brawl inside of a store in general. You know what I mean? So like, it's like this is the East Coast. You got to remember the East Coast is a little different. You know what I'm saying? We're real violent up here. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
I'm from East Tennessee. I'm on your coast, motherfucker. But like, yeah, I was about to say we are the type of people where it's like if you stare at someone too long, they'll be like, "What the fuck you looking at? I look pretty to you, faggot? Like what? You want to kiss me, bitch?" Like we are that type of people.
Yeah,
totally.
You want to have some fun though? If you really want to have some fun with it, and some Karen comes up and starts with the social distance nonsense, just very calmly look her dead in the eye and be like, "I'm not being social," and then let them figure that shit out.
Well, today because I'm a locksmith, I had to go and rekey one of the clinics here. I was wearing a mask because I'm working, so I represent my company. So
right, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
None of the nurses, when they left the floor where the patients could see them, none of them were wearing masks.
Of course not. They're too busy filming a TikTok dance.
No, they weren't doing that. But I mean,
if you
all the nurses at the clinic just take off their mask the second the patient starts.
I might be in the small minority when it comes to this, but I've never minded the mandatory mask thing, so long as you don't get arrested or get charged for not wearing a mask. Because me personally, with all the CCTVs around, the fact that we do kind of live in a surveillance state, because every fucking ATM, gas station, fucking red light is starting to have a fucking security camera on it. Me being able to somewhat hide my identity, because I like. Don't get me wrong, I don't dress like a bum when I go out, but I also don't like dress that noticeable. I kind of do the whole gray man thing, if you know what I talk about.
I do.
But me having a mask over my face is kind of like you might not know who I am unless like you see my tattoos or something like that.
Right. You want to be you want to be nondescript, but not so nondescript so as to draw attention.
Yeah, look, I'm in the sticks.
Just don't bust out your balaclava.
Yeah, I'm in the sticks today, and I saw a dude walking his dog, right? And I'm out here, and I was walking my dog, and I'm going down the street or whatever, right? And like this dude was walking his dog wearing a fucking mask in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah,
that's just fucking sad.
Because time transmits disease.
Yo, I went to the hood. Here's a good thing. I went to the hood. All the young bulls in the hood, like hopping off the dirt bikes and shit with the fucking, with the 12 gauges on their backs. Right. None of them are wearing masks.
Of course not.
Yeah, because they got the 12 gauge. And if the Wuhan flu comes at them, they'll just shoot it.
I've figured out how to do social distancing, and it's worked ever since I started it. Take up smoking.
Oh yeah. You know what I do to maintain a social distance? I just be myself and let
Well, I mean,
nature take its
because
course.
the people who are going to be Karens are usually the ones who are going to yell at you for smoking, anyways. So
Yep.
you say, "I'm smoking. I can't smoke while wearing a mask. So it's your duty to get the fuck up away from me."
Yeah, I mean, like
Good
nobody
answer.
says
Just
shit.
fart.
No one says shit about outside, right? But like
No,
inside,
no.
yeah, like Walmart, like you can't go into Walmart around here. But my local stores, you don't have to wear a mask in. Like they don't. The state police came out and said they're not enforcing it in their area.
You shouldn't even go to Walmart to begin with.
Yeah, I like Walmart, man. I'll be honest with you. There's no other place in the world where I can buy a 10-pound bags of chicken quarters for fucking $6.
Just make sure that they're farmed locally.
No, man. They're farmed in at a lab in Wuhan.
Probably. Not
No,
they're grown.
it's cheaper for them to be local.
Well, they're grown in Tennessee. So, you know, I mean, I'm
Okay.
not really mad at that. You know, I mean, it's feeding fucking my boys' people and shit.
Right. I'll be back in a second. I really gotta piss. I'll be right back.
Yeah, when it comes to Walmart, the only thing I can ever say is only go there for food. Don't buy any of their fucking shit that you know is imported.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't do any of my food shopping at Walmart. It's been a long time since I've done that. I'll go to Kroger or Food City or something like that much quicker than I would at Walmart. I don't like, honestly, and maybe it's just me and the type of Walmarts I have around me, but I'll check for it online. And if it's not online, then I'll go to my local Walmart, but it has to be for that one specific thing that I want. I go in, I get it, I get the fuck out. I don't like spending time in Walmart or anything else. Like, it's not my go-to store anymore. It really isn't.
Yeah. No, I get you. That whenever I go to Walmart, the only thing I get is like their rotisserie chicken because I don't feel like cooking, and I know that the lines are going to be horrible, so I just walk over to the register at the electronics department and I go, "Check me out," and they go, "Well, there's the one up front." I'm like, "Yeah, but you got one right here."
Yo, I like
I don't want to wait that line.
I like Walmart's grocery section. I'll be honest with you, right? It has a really good selection. They have everything I fucking need. And on top of that, like the meat department is far and away better than any other grocery stores around here. Like the rest of the grocery stores are fucking trash when it comes to their meat section. Like,
Yeah,
you know how,
obviously.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, yeah, obviously it does depend on how your local Walmart or whatever is really ran. I think it really does determine where you go shopping. Like, I know some people who are like super duper right winger conservatives, but they'll still go to Target because they have better prices on products. You know what I mean? Even though they don't really like Target.
It's not just that. It's not just that. Like if you go to the local grocery store around here, legit, like they just in general don't have shit. Right? Like, you know, you go to Walmart, you can get grass-fed local fucking steaks. But if you go to my local Giant or a local fucking Wise Market or something, or Carnes or Foxes, like they don't have shit. And their fucking meat department is fucking trash.
Yeah, see, luckily where I'm at, I'm surrounded by because I'm in California, I'm just surrounded by fucking carnicerias.
I was about to say I don't have any of those things in my neck of the woods. It's like Kroger, Food City, Walmart, and maybe like a little Aldi's or something every once in a while.
Yeah, I've got all these Walmart, Albertsons, carnicerias. I've got fucking everything because the area of California I live in is agriculture.
Well, yeah, we got Wise, Giant, Carnes, Foxes, Walmart. We have a Surefine, which is locally owned, and then there's Matzo Balls, which is a local grocery store in Duncannon. But I'll be real, like the Matzo Balls is not bad if like it was much better when I was able to eat carbs.
Dude, I hear you. I fucking hear you, bro.
Fuck carbs. The only carbs that are good is beer.
Like,
oh, dude, I hear you.
Like, yo, you know what I mean? Because I could go into like, you know, they have like a really, really nice bakery section and shit. Like, yo, but I can't eat carbs no more because I'm a diabetic now. So I can't fucking do that shit. Legit, you know what I mean? Like fucking I told my doctor about like my progress. Fucking I got an appointment coming up here next Friday. She said, how's shit going? I told like she knew that like my sugar was like 390, 400 when I went in, right? Yeah, I was in real bad shape, right? But now now I'm staying between 80 and 120.
Okay, that's much better, dude. Good
Shit.
God.
Yeah. Like I was in a coma for a minute. It's like I'm all right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's actually one of the problems with our current culture is all the consumerism has made it easy for people to give themselves, food related diseases, and then they want to scream about free healthcare.
Well, no, it's
Well,
a
I mean,
lack thereof. It's a lack of exercise, is what it is. It's because we're not
well, yeah,
doing
that,
manual labor
sure.
jobs anymore. You know what I mean? Like
It's
back in the
not
day, you
just
didn't have diabetes wasn't a problem, not because like we didn't have access to like fucking bread. You know what I mean? We've had bread forever. You know what I mean? We've had like all these sweets and confections forever. That's been a normal thing. But the problem is that or the difference is back then niggas went to work, you know what I mean? And they fucking broke rocks with other rocks or moved steel beams around all day or built
yeah, but
engines and
also
shit. You know what I mean?
also the
And also,
treats
like,
the treats were, back then the treats were kind of considered expensive. I mean, you didn't make a whole lot of money.
yeah, I was gonna say
So
that too. They were viewed as
treating
more like
yourself
a
was a treat. Nowadays, you
yeah, it
go
was
buy
an
a fucking
actual
tub of
treat.
ice cream for $3.
Yeah, it was an actual treat. People didn't eat fucking sugary shit like that. They would go to a what was those old things they used to have like a soda shop, like a little bar only for sodas, and go and get like a
A malt
Coca-Cola.
shop.
Yeah, a malt shop and shit like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be like the Sunday treat. Now everybody just does their shit at home. They got their 50-gallon tub of fucking gelato and they just eat it
Mm-hmm.
because it's convenient and it's cheap and it makes them happy.
Yeah. I mean, like, now, but now again, like it's back to like, we don't exercise anymore. Like we're never outdoors. Like we don't chop wood to stay warm. You know what I mean? Like you gotta remember, like, shit, dude.
I
It was
chop wood if you
19.
know what I mean.
Yeah, get it done, buddy. Get it done. Right? Fucking split them logs, buddy. Fucking, but you gotta stand here and like you're not exercising the way you used to. I mean, even when I was a kid, we're talking in the 80s and 90s, I used to have to shovel coal into the fucking stove downstairs to keep the fucking furnace running.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
my dad from a right early age, because he ran a construction company, he was like, okay, you're now as tall as the broom. You get to push it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like this is the thing. Like we don't live the way we used to live. We're not outside butchering our own meat anymore. We're not out here fucking, like chopping down trees, or we're not out here fucking picking apples. We're not doing any of the shit that we used to do just to get by every day.
I
don't think it's ever going to return to that either for most people.
I actually do get to butcher my meat because I drive 30 minutes. I can throw $400-$500 on a chunk of cow and bring it home.
Yeah, I'm about to get back to that. You know what I mean?
Because oh my dude, for $400-$500 you can get half a fucking cow.
Yeah, I know.
You know how much it costs for somebody else to fucking cut up the shit? I tell you what,
lot.
all the fucking price
$10
of meat is labor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I don't think it's ever going to go back to a more agrarian fucking hunter-gatherer society. We're way too down the fucking mass-produced fucking shit to ever go that way ever again. I think
that's why you should vote for me, because my political platform is make Agogi great again.
I almost agree with you at a certain point. If it's not for the fact of the government taking your children at 7 years old and indoctrinating them into their goddamn fucking mentality, like
yes, but Agogi, if you remember, Greek was all about the city-states. It wouldn't be the federal government doing it; it'd be your local government, which means that your local government better fucking represent you if they're gonna deal with your kids.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I definitely wanted to get on here and talk politics, not so much like food cities and Kroger's and Piggly Wigglies and shit.
we have fun.
But,
Man.
I know, yeah. It's a good flow of conversation. I enjoyed it for sure. But like, it's one of those things to where like there's a lot of things I wish we did as a society or got back to that was more, and I know some people hate this word, but more traditional, more of that trad life where it's like you did have, a good woman in the house and who would help you around the house and raise your kids, and you'd go fucking hunt deer and fucking have a garden, have a spice garden, have a vegetable, a fruit garden, all this type of shit. and you actually knew where the food you was eating came from. Now you have no fucking idea. And between that and the fact that yet again, the political system in this country just seems more and more like it's a fucking poisoned, HIV infested, fucking dying animal that's on its last legs. I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to be hurting. But I think, and I think I even said this earlier in a Discord conversation I was in, where it's like people are talking about we need to rise up and blah 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 and all this other shit, and it's like, well, I was saying back when this COVID shit first happened, people ain't gonna do shit till it gets much, much worse than this. And it's constantly been getting worse, and people are constantly not really doing shit besides storming the Capitol so that way 4 people or so could get shot and 1 person died, and Biden's still gonna be our president. So what did that fucking accomplish?
You want to know what the biggest problem with trying to get back to there is? All the agricultural companies, the big ones like the Wonderful Company and things like that, they have kicked out pretty much all of the small local farmers. So we can't really go back to that. The issue that's probably going to happen is the food demands are going to happen, and then all the agricultural companies are just gonna ream everybody.
Yeah, they're gonna milk it.
Honestly, I see where you're coming from, but I don't think food is ever going to be an issue. I think so long as people can go to fucking McDonald's or go to Burger King and go and hopefully get a fucking little $600 check from the government and go and watch Netflix and beat off to Pornhub videos and shit like that, I don't think anyone's ever going to rise up or do shit.
Well, let me, and also, Psycho, you have to remember, like, I've been playing these videos for y'all for like 3 months now about Peter Zeon, and he's been telling y'all legit, there's no chance in the world that the United States could fuck up its agriculture. Like, there's
no, it's not gonna
chance.
It's not going to fuck up the agriculture. The fact that a lot of agriculture has gotten off of mom and pop competition, where there can be a force that drives people to do things. It's now a lot of corporations now that.
What are you talking about?
Farming? It's corporatized.
What are you talking about, dude? Legit, like, yo, you do understand that, like, every corporate farm and every mom and pop farm, like, you ever have a chance to go on YouTube, look up like farming videos, right? And like, there's breakdowns of like how much money they get from the government every goddamn year just to stay the fucking business.
Yes, but there's also going to be because of how the economy is going to, I don't want to say crash, but it's going to have a definitely big hit. Food is going to rise in price, and with food rising in prices, it's going to counter everything that people think has been going on. We're going to become a lot more contrarian.
Food is not going to rise in price. That will never happen.
Tell that to the price of milk.
Well, no, they keep the price of milk high on purpose, right? Keenan Haywood, welcome. Have yourself a wrench, my brother. You know what I mean? They're never going to stand here and rise the price of fucking like food because like they can't.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
Why can't they?
Because the government's one of the largest fucking buyers of food in the nation.
Yeah, we know how thrifty they are with their spending.
They're never going to stand here and rise the price of fucking milk or rise the price of agriculture and food. Right? That's never going to happen. Like, you have to understand it. Like, they literally have a system in place where they're going to keep importing fucking cheap labor to keep the price of fucking, labor down for the farmers. And then they're going to keep the price of fucking transport down because, there's no way that oil at this point ever will go over fucking $50 a barrel again because of, fucking our fucking fracking shit, up in the Northeast. It's providing us with enough oil that we're energy independent. So we don't have to worry about it. It's great fuel that is easily transferable into, gasoline and diesel, right? So like the transportation costs are never going to go down. Like, dude, they are never going to lower the price or raise the price of food. It will always be what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I've watched the price of food raising and raising and raising. And I'm in an agricultural area. It used to be cheap here.
I'm in PA, the snack food capital of the planet, right? Like we have Hershey's, Lay's, fucking Snyder's, Utz, fucking Reese's, M&M Mars, like fucking like I live like where food is made, right?
Yeah, me too.
Where
Yo.
the diabetes is manufactured, baby.
Diabetes is manufactured
Diabetes.
here. That's where the diabetes,
I
right?
want to talk to you
Well, I
about
mean,
diabetes.
So this is what I mean
Love
by
Handle
like,
USA, baby. Love
the-
Handle
the-
USA.
what I mean by the price of food is going to go up. Areas where I live in, where in California we just grow a shit ton of fruits and nuts. Yeah, make all the jokes. Everybody's heard them.
Yeah, I had to hold back, to be honest.
But I can tell you that over the last 2-3 years, even just going and buying a bag of almonds has raised $2 to $3.
Well, see, that's where you're fucked up, Psycho. Not to cut you off or anything, but that's where you fucked up because ramen noodles is still fucking cheap. McDonald's is still fucking cheap. All these places. You're talking about healthy food products. Well,
Well,
more
yeah,
or less
I like healthy food
meat,
products.
yeah, that shit may raise. Not to be another person saying I disagree with Tom Pease, but like that shit may raise in price. But what most Americans do eat is fatty fucking sugar, more sugar
salt.
more sugar than a human body should ever consume. Fucking energy drinks, sodas, fucking fast food shit, and
Bread,
unhealthy
They
right?
eat a chemistry cocktail.
rice, ramen noodles, shit like that. Like all this unhealthy fucking shit is probably never going to go up in price. And honestly, the whole like food issue is one of those issues I don't think is ever going to be the thing to, pop off the fucking boog or whatever you want to say. So,
Yeah, but okay. So yeah, you're probably right. All the cheap food is going to remain the same, but I don't want to live on cheap food.
well, you're in
Cheap
the
food is not
minority.
healthy.
Yeah, you're in the fucking minority, dude. Like you're legit. Like they're
I
not
don't need
gonna
to get
raise the
diabetes like Tom Pinoid here.
I feel you, right? But like, they're not going to raise the price of bread. They're not going to raise the price of fucking eggs. They're not going to raise the price of fucking like milk past where like in like keeping up with inflation for the fucking dairy farmers of America, the DFA and shit. And Keenan Haywood, my brother, yes, we're completely fucked. It is what it is. There is no hope.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said earlier, I was having a conversation about a lot of these topics in another Discord I was in, and I was of the opinion of just, leave me the fuck alone, leave me to my mountains and woods, and the ride or die motherfuckers that I have in my corner. Other than that, I don't really I don't care to, I don't know, try to form a new political party so much, or try to fucking back another fucking demagogue for fucking president or for fucking office, someone who's going to come along. Because people have been talking about Tulsi Gabbard, maybe
Please.
the hope. And I'm like, yeah, Tulsi also wanted to go to war with Russia over the Ukraine. And I honestly believe, don't get me wrong, Tulsi Gabbard could fucking get it. She could, I'd lay that pipe fucking willingly. But here's the thing. I think that she's there just to be one of those. See, not all Democrats are batshit crazy like AOC.
I agree. I agree with
Sanders.
you on that.
She's one of the good ones, guys.
In fact,
So,
in my adventures on Twitter, I constantly see where members, or I say members, people who claim to be libertarians seem to be trying to court her.
oh, that's a Discord I was in. Actually, it comes from a libertarian dude on YouTube. It's his Discord, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
there's a lot of people putting Tulsi and backing her because the Democratic Party fucking abandoned her and blah blah blah. And I'm like, but yeah,
No,
she's
they
still
didn't.
a Democrat. She's still a Democrat though,
Yeah.
dude. She still runs as a Democrat and holds Democratic fucking political party
Credentials.
office.
Yeah. And a lot of the libertarians think that Justin Amash and Tulsi Gabbard are going to be the thing that propels the Democrat or the Libertarian Party into politics.
Libertarian Party is a fucking joke in our country.
Yes,
really
it is. Yes, it
and,
is.
and most
Yeah, it's
free
fucking
thinking
trash.
and most free thinking libertarians will tell you that the actual Libertarian Party in America is full of shit.
Yep. I mean, that's
Libertarian Party.
again, that's why Arthur and I, my co-host, it's why we wrote our book. It's why we created the Liberty and Restoration Party as a fake political party to serve as a contrast to not just Democrats and Republicans, but to the Libertarian platform as well.
The idea of a libertarian party in itself is a contradiction.
Yeah, because a party always
Is a
requires you
state.
to subvert your interest for the interest of the party.
Yeah, and it's antithetical to what fundamentally libertarian believes. Libertarian beliefs, one of which is not being statist. So,
Right.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just, I just now turned 30 not that long ago, last month actually. So it's one of those things. I don't feel like I should be like this old curmudgeon, who's just like, get
You're too young for it.
But honestly, dude, in my lifetime, growing up with fucking Bush and the fucking never-ending wars in the Middle East, which I fucking fought in, seeing the rise of Obama, seeing the rise and fall of Trump, all of this shit, I just have no faith in I don't have faith in some fucking hero that's going to come and save me, whether it be a political party
you're right.
or a candidate.
You're right. It's not going to happen that way. The only way it can happen is if the people start doing something about it. Now, I don't mean like the shit that happened yesterday, because that's counterproductive.
It did nothing. It accomplished fucking nothing. A person.
No, it made things worse.
A fucking woman, a fucking Air Force veteran who was like fucking a young girl, this fucking trad wife fucking shit, got shot in the fucking neck and killed, and they still elected. They kicked everybody out of the Capitol. Everybody hates right wingers now. There's more infighting in the right wing party or in right leaning circles because, oh no, dude, it was Antifa. It wasn't us. No, it was fucking you. No, the fuck it wasn't. We should boo. No, we fucking shouldn't. And as soon as they left the fucking building, guess what? They reconvened. And guess what? Fucking Biden still got in. So
yeah, to me, I like the idea of storming the Capitol because that's my fucking building. Go fuck you. I'm an American. That's my building. I can't trespass on my own property.
Well, here's the thing. Two things. Like I said yesterday on Tom P's stream. For one, I'm glad to see the right wing actually have some balls. I'm glad to see the right wing go to the place where they have grievances, meaning your local government, your federal government, and taking it up with them and doing something about it instead of burning down a fucking locally owned fucking Taco Bell or fucking Home Depot or some shit. Yeah, or some shit that directly negatively impacts your own community, your own area when you do that shit.
And honestly, rioters, take out Amazon distribution centers.
But honestly, and the more and more I think about it, the more and more I want to say this publicly. I feel like I was wrong for giving BLM and Antifa shit when they went and burned down police precincts. That's where they had issues with. I don't get me wrong. I'm not a BLM supporter or Antifa supporter. I think they're all fucking political pawns and useful idiots and fucking anti-American pieces of shit, most of them, and it's a Marxist organization. But when they
I want to say this, you are probably actually anti-fascist. You're just not Antifa.
Oh no, I absolutely hate those fucking Wignat Nazi boys who talk about Jew this, Jew that.
I fucking hate them people. They're fucking. Hang on, let me address something in the chat real quick. The price of beef went from fucking $2.90 motherfucking pound. Price of hamburger went from $2.90 a pound in 2010 to fucking $3.95 today. I just wanted to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? It did not double, but it is up $1, and it's during Corona Chan.
It's doubled here. It used to be $2 a pound, and now it's $5 a pound.
I'll tell you what. In 2009, it was $3.95 a fucking pound. I saw it for $5 a fucking pound in some places back in 08 and 09. Right?
Chicken used to be 19 cents a pound.
I know, right?
Well, then everyone started buying chicken because it was cheaper.
Yeah. But to go back to what I said, to what Psycho brought up, yeah, dude, totally. I am anti-fascist. I don't fucking like these little Nazi boys who fucking want to be all edgy and talk about the Jews. Am I J-woke? Absolutely. Is there a lot of shit that people like to harp on with that particular group of people that makes a lot of sense to me, and there's a lot of dots that you can connect? Absolutely. But if you're sitting there talking about fucking, oh, the Jews this, the Jews that, we need to make more white babies, while you sit on a fucking Discord and complain and bitch, and you're not out there getting your rocks off in some chick's fucking fucking vagina and not making more white babies, then what the fuck are you doing?
Yo,
You know?
look, I think we need more white babies. I got 2 bitches pregnant right now. All right?
I know, right?
And I already have 5 kids.
I mean the anti-fascists of the government should never be colluding with corporations against the people.
Well,
Right.
here's the main thing that I've always had against Nazi ideology or any ideology based upon race. First and foremost, there are
Not
people
fascism.
of
That's just racism.
well, here's the thing. There are people who are members of your own ethnicity or race who do not have your best interest in mind. And you cannot say that just because a person is white, they are somehow fucking a good person based upon the color of their skin. That's racism, and it's just factually incorrect.
I'm a
But
Jew and I oppose Soros.
yeah, but here's the thing. If you're going to talk about like the Jews run the world, the Jews run the world. Well, I am one of those people who believe in fucking social political Darwinism. May the strong win out. And if they're fucking truly running the world, guess what? They've been doing a fucking bang up job of it for fucking generations upon generations with nobody really stepping up to them besides, that one dude in Germany. But, it's one of those things.
Spain in 1488 and shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Ulysses S. Grant in 1865.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but here's
I do say that a lot of those national socialist people in America that just harp on the Jews, they, for the most part, they're just jealous.
Yeah. Let me be real here. All right. I'm gonna put this all the way 100 with y'all. All right. The Jews run the media and they own a lot of the banks. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest with you. If you were intelligent enough, you could unseat them. It's that simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
where I'm at.
that's the thrust of my argument is to be smart about what you
that's
do.
what that's the conversation I've had with all of these cringy little fucking LARPy fucking Nazi boys. It's like, dude, if you know what they're doing, why don't you do it fucking better?
Yeah.
Exactly. Compete. Bring something to the fucking table.
Legit, I'll be honest with you. Like, you know what Jews like? Money. You know what everybody likes? Money, right? All you have to do is come up with a better idea than they have, and you can get them to give up money, right?
Well,
like, believe it or not, hang on, believe it or not, I had a Jew legitimately pull me off a dock position and put me in charge of a multi-million-dollar shipping company, right? And we were making fucking like $12 million a fucking month together, right? And I mean, like, for the company, but I'm saying, like, I was managing all the accounts and doing all the goddamn bookkeeping and shit for stuff. Like, Jews will stand here and motherfucking help you the fuck out if if they feel like you're gonna make them more money.
You're a brother.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the reason why also they're so fucking successful is because they stay within their own tribe. They really do. And I think Tom actually is the one who said this. Until white people start acting like minorities, white people are never going to get a heads up in society or in politics or anything else.
Yeah. And I mean, it's that simple. Like, you got, look, you have to have your culture. All right. And I'm fully believe. Hang on. Until you have your culture, you're never going to motherfucking stand up to shit. That's the reality of it. Like, look, I say I'm Italian because I have an Italian cultural heritage. I have things that I do that are very, very Italian. Like, I have a lot of Italian traits and a lot of Italian fucking mannerisms and mentalities about things. Right.
And you have a hairy girlfriend.
Yes. My girlfriend has a mustache, and so do all my kids, including the girls. Right. But that's how this works. Okay, you have to have a fucking culture that you can bond with other people of your culture with. America has no culture, and just saying that you're white does not impugn you have a culture and something to bond with other people with.
White doesn't even mean anything. There is no nationality white. There's fucking 27 countries in Europe.
Yeah, people started telling me in middle school I was Caucasian. I was like, shit, I can't even spell that.
This is right.
I'm not from the Caucasus.
Let me be real. Like, Caucasian is a designation of your motherfucking skeletal structure for when they find you when you're dead. All right. So they can identify the remains. That's what Caucasian is. All
Caucasoid.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
Negroid, Mongoloid, and motherfucking now the Denisovan. Right. But because they just added that in recently. That's where the people fucking.
See, I always forget the
Australiazoid. Yeah, and the Australizoid fucking the Aborigines with the pan faces and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I mean, I would and see, and I was also bringing this up yet again in that Discord I was in, where we were talking about differences, but and you know, the infighting that is among the right wing and everything else. And this is why, like, hopefully I would like to see a lot of people from the left and the right that are starting to slowly realize that politicians are not your friends. The political party is not your friend. The system is designed to keep you in a menial job in debt for the rest of your life until you die, and then pass on that debt to
Whomever.
your children and their children's children. And generational wealth is apparently racist now, and like all of these things that are designed to keep more money in fewer hands of the elites. Like, and they are the elites. They can get away with absolute murder and even have a fucking pedo island off the Virgin Islands for fucking decades, and no one apparently knew about it, even though former presidents visited said island. But anyways, I don't see, until things get way worse and until people put aside their petty political differences, like, oh, you're a fucking libtard, oh, you're just a conservative, blah, blah, blah. Until people put aside that shit and realize that we're all being equally fucked by the exact same system, a system that no longer works for the people, by the people, of the people, like, I don't see any change happening, and people will not change. And I had one of the conversations I was in was about like, well, we have to wake people up and fight for them and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Like, these people, there are so many Americans right now, both right wing and left wing, who are in love with their gilded cages. These people who went to the Capitol, who were fighting for Trump, even though Trump didn't really do a goddamn thing for any of us in his 4 years as a loser president, a one-term president. Like, why the fuck? Why are you fighting for that dude? Like, I guarantee you, Trump is never going to remember the name of that fucking woman that was shot in the fucking neck and killed. He's never going to fucking remember her.
Well,
I'll
see,
tell you-
that's one of the things is our society has gotten to the point that we don't even care about local. We just want to worry
No,
about
we
the
don't.
federal. Fuck the Fed. Fuck the Fed.
Again, like, yo, look, people are allergic to responsibility.
Yep.
Yo, it's that simple.
I will say this about the one thing that President Trump accomplished, and I don't know if it was intentional or not. He'll tell you it was, but that means nothing to me. He revealed how deep the shit really is.
Yeah, I do.
We all knew it.
Well, we
Well,
knew it, but it's been laid bare in many ways.
Well,
because of a President Trump.
I do think he woke up a lot of people to the hypocrisy and the fucking deep state and the swamp, or the nuclear fucking waste dump. It's not even a swamp anymore; it's a nuclear fucking waste disposal facility. But
Yeah.
like, I do think he woke people up, but I do think they got to him. Like, I think there was a conversation between Trump and some people who have some ties into some certain places, who were like, look, Trump, we're tired of your shit. We've tried to dog you out. We've tried to dog your family out for 4 years. You're not getting a second term. And if you do, we're going to go after your kids and your grandkids. And he was like, okay, listen, that sounds bigly. It sounds great. It's amazing. I'm going to rile up a bunch of people at the Capitol, and then I'm going to get in my limo and go eat some chicken. And I'm going to tweet about peace, and I'm going to concede to Biden. Okay. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. So fuck Trump.
Well, see, if that were the case, would they be pushing for impeachment and activating the 25th Amendment and all that stuff?
That's
They
all
might.
for sure.
He has a
Yeah,
week-
that's what
he
I'm
has a-
getting at. They might do
He has
that
a
for
week
show.
left. He has a week left.
Yeah,
That's all for show.
But just imagine if Trump's got the balls he wants us to believe he has.
Which he
Just
doesn't.
imagine who he might pardon.
I don't
Snowden.
think he's gonna do shit. I think he's
Neither
just,
do I.
I think, and even the fucking, who is it? Not Don Jr. and him were talking about fucking the fight is still gonna keep on going and blah blah blah. Like, dude, here's the thing: Trump is gonna be banned off Twitter. I'm pretty sure I just saw a fucking article shared in one of the discords I'm in, where fucking Trump is now permanently banned off Facebook and Instagram. So like he can be a millionaire and everything else. I don't think this fucking wishful thinking of Trump starting the Trump News Network, TNN. I don't think that's ever going to get off the fucking ground because guess who owns the media? I don't think any of that shit's going to happen. I think he's going to be a one-term loser president who was a lame duck president who didn't do nearly half the shit that he said he was going to and tried to, like, if you listen to the debate.
In fairness, he's been obstructed since fucking.
Okay, hang
Yes,
on, wait. He's done a bunch of really good things for America.
What?
Legit.
What has he done?
Okay, first off, the North Korea thing. He had Israel actually sign treaties with fucking, what was it, like fucking 4 or 5 different fucking Muslim nations.
So he did good for did good for Israel and North Korea.
Okay. No. What he did was, hang on, wait. He set up the beginnings of us leaving the fucking Middle East.
Yeah.
Right. That's important. He signed trade deals. He signed trade deals with fucking South Korea, Japan.
Yeah, the only reason we've ever hold up.
Come on, let him finish.
Hold up. Tom, I'm going to ask you this. Okay, he set that shit up. What do you think is going to happen as soon as Biden gets into office? All that shit, his entire legacy, all the things that you just now said are good things, are going to erode away. Biden is going to work closer with China. Biden is going to do whatever fucking China says when it's in relation to North Korea, which is,
if he remembers.
Yeah, which is fundamentally going against what South Korea wants and most other Asian nations. It's going to backpedal on all the progress that we've made with fucking North Korea. He's going to backpedal all the shit with Iran. I guarantee you, mark my fucking words. What is today? January the 8th, 2021. Mark my words, we will have another war in the Middle East. They will go back to increasing troop sizes, go back to bombings and everything else. You wait and fucking see.
Yeah, I know. That's part of my predictions for 2021, right? I know the deal.
You know what
right?
it's going to be?
Have more deployments. What up?
So, yeah. So all the things that you said that Trump did good, all of those are going to be easily eroded within the first 2 years of a Biden-Harris presidency.
Yeah, but we can't take away the victory.
Well, no. See, here's the thing: the trade deals are not going to go away, right? And on top of that, the trade deal with Britain was amazing as well, right? Because Britain has nowhere else to go. Right, they have nowhere else to go. So, like, the trade deal is going to stand with Britain. You know what I mean? It's going to be fucking great. And like, there's lots of things that Trump did that were fucking awesome for our country as a whole. Right, and so like, don't think that like he just did nothing the whole time he was in fucking office. He got part of that wall built and shit. He got fucking. He got some of the shit.
Yeah, he didn't finish the fucking wall, and now that thing is going to turn into ruin and an eyesore. And it wasn't even a fucking wall; it was fucking little bullshit fucking obstacles that people. There's already been videos like fucking, I think 1 or 2 years ago, where people already figured out how to fucking pass those borders. Like, I would love to, like, the one thing I can say as a veteran, he passed an act to where, like, if you have to wait too long for a VA appointment, you can go to a civilian doctor. He did do that. But when it comes to guns, when it comes to our freedoms and liberties, all this other shit that he said he was going to do, drain the swamp and everything else, he didn't do half of that shit. Yes, he had opposition. I understand that.
He was a New York Democrat before he became the Republican president.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, and any good thing that he didn't do it, and he didn't set it in stone. And I don't like, I think you have wishful thinking when it comes to these trade deals and everything else, because all that shit can be evaporated with a fucking executive order, which Biden is damn sure going to be using.
Oh yeah, but you cannot
trade deals are within the countries themselves,
which you can't dispute
by the United States.
And on top of that, the Mexico-American relations have never in the history of our country been on better ground than they are right now.
What we cannot dispute is that President Trump proved that those things can be done.
Uh-huh.
And if the people ever get off their asses and start deciding to be the American people again,
what did Winston Churchill say? He said, America will do what the right thing after it's exhausted every other option.
Yes.
Well, I think I want to answer something that Mitch said, like getting Americans off their asses and et cetera, et cetera. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Get off their asses for what? To fight for a Republican Party that never helped Trump out, that was fucking weak and everything else.
No, vote for me. I'm gonna fucking get rid of McCarthy.
No, God no. See, this is where our unfamiliarity is probably hampering your understanding of what I'm talking about, and that's nobody's fault.
Oh, I knew you wasn't meaning it that way. I'm just saying, like, it was a open-ended question that wasn't really a question. I'm just saying, like, get off your ass and fight, like, for what? For a party that, like, the Republicans can have the Senate, the House, and a Republican president. They still cut to the left. So,
Fight
like,
for
fight
yourself.
for what?
What the American people have to get off their asses and do is they have to get on the school boards. They have to get into local politics and take up those offices and put the American values as written in the Bill of Rights, for example, back at the forefront of education.
Yep,
and policy.
We keep worrying about what's going on with the Fed. What's going on with the Fed? What's going on with the state?
Well, the Fed's fucked up too.
Let's worry what's going on in your fucking community and make it better.
Yes, that's one step, and that's a long-term thing. That's not going to be a quick solution. That's a solution that's going to take a long time to see any results from.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing, and I've always been one of the people who's tried to spirit the idea of start local, grow fucking national. But here's the thing, like when you're trying to say that Americans need to like get off their asses and do shit, like yeah, I totally get that, and we fucking need to, but I have yet to hear any convincing argument or anyone, more educated than me. Maybe Templar in the chat can hop on and educate me some more, or somebody else. But like, okay, get off our asses and do what? Fight for a Republican Party that can have all the political power and not do shit. And then when their president is about to get it, let me finish. That can let their president go through impeachments and all this other shit and get fucked with for 4 years, or try to fight socially. Try to fight, fucking society. And society, sorry to say, but society right now is ran by entertainment industry, mainstream media, and fucking trends. And all of these trends, all this, from the music you listen to the shit that you watch on TV, to the news you hear, to everything everything you watch at the movies, everything you're allowed to say or not say on fucking social media, all of these things are leftist propaganda and leftist ideology centered. So if you're going to try to change society, you are literally, you're not David and Goliath. You're David versus a fucking army of Goliaths. Literally everything in this country.
I'm okay with that though. Right, I'm just fine with that. Hang on a minute. Here's the thing. Right, here's what needs to happen, legitimately. All right. Y'all need to start dragging more people to my channel. Like I don't make any money.
The same people I talk to.
Right, but I'm saying though, like legit, like y'all need to drag more people over here, because like real shit, this message is like you want to fight. I have no problem fighting David against 1,000 Goliaths, 1 billion Goliaths. I don't fucking care. I have no problem
next to that, David.
Yeah, I'm with it. Right, but like legit, we need to bring more people here.
Yeah,
that's simple.
That's one thing. But to continue answering those points you made.
Okay.
Arthur and I, my co-host Arthur and I, talk about how we do need other avenues to get entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
For example, because politics is downstream from culture, as Andrew Breitbart said.
Yes, sir.
And
certainly is. What
you have to do, you do have to have entertainment that pushes the values of those American values I talked about.
Traditional values.
Yes, let's say that. For shorthand purposes, let's just say traditional values.
Cool.
But they have to learn the lessons of the rapidly failing leftist entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just say, they can't stare into the camera and say hating people because they're in a wheelchair while being black and lesbian is wrong. They can't be preachy about it. It has to be entertaining. It has to have a degree of subtlety that actually not makes people think, but inspires them to think.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I don't watch any TV. I don't watch movies. I watch YouTube politically, but the only thing that I watch that doesn't have anything to do with fucking politics, porn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
all
porn
right,
is porn no matter
well-
what.
hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Yo, we have to help somebody out in the chat real quick. R and T, and I guess M, right? I don't know what the fuck, right? Yeah, you don't need to be stressed out. Okay, legitimately, all we're doing, and I've said this before, we are going back to a time that that you might not remember because you might have been young, but we're going back to Bill Clinton and George Bush and fucking Obama. That's all we're doing. Understand, your life's not going to change tremendously. They're not going to fucking stand here and, you know what I mean, put fucking troops on the streets. They're not going to stand here and come and like rape your fucking family. Don't be stressed out. All right, legit. You understand, we lost an election and this happens. All right.
Yeah.
If you've been
You know what's
listening to me if you've been listening to me for the past 2 or 3 months, you would have known that this was already gonna happen.
Yo, if you listen to Pinoid back in fucking 2019 November, you knew Koof was coming.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
check this out, though.
there's some. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mitch.
Well, to keep going on with that entertainment thing and to cross it over with some of the things I had mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
getting-
want to talk about that for sure, homie. For sure.
You get those people locally to get into office and whatnot. And from that local level office, you can start legislating that, you know, you don't have to join a fucking club to make a movie in our town.
Hmm.
If you
Well-
want to make a movie in our town and you're not part of the Screen Actors Guild, for example, it's okay. Because they can't come into our town and start tearing shit up with your production. If they do, they'll be arrested.
Well, Mitch, you seem to be a very knowledgeable person, and I'd like to have this conversation about fucking movies and entertainment.
Don't let me fool you.
Well, I mean, you definitely see like you got, you know, a decent, you know, head on your shoulders when it comes to stuff like this because you brought it up, and I definitely would like to go down this avenue of discussion. The thing with entertainment and media and music and all this other stuff, just much like fighting for a societal change, the things that I see that would cause you not to be able to get very far with that and make a lot of headway is the fact that, like, and this has happened long before my 30 years, the whole feminist movement, the whole idea of replacing the father figure in your home with the state. I was listening to Nick Rakita, one of my good buddies, Nick Rakita. Shout out Nick Rakita.
Oh, yeah.
And his buddy Drexel was on there, this black feller. And he was saying, if you want to look at what is going to happen to white people, look at what happened to black people. The state came in and said, we will fucking give you money and food and everything else if you throw your fucking husband out of the home and in jail so that way he has to sell drugs and gangbang and everything else.
Well, that's
they
already
took-
happening, too.
Well, here's the thing. That happened to the black community a long time ago, and now it's starting to happen with the white community. It's starting to be in suburbs. I can honestly not recall off the top of my head how many people who are white who are in a 2-parent household with children. Most of the people I know are divorced in separate households. Most of the people I know are, you know, have baby mamas and fucking kids and everything else. And most of the time they replace that with the state. So not only do you have this idea from the start of feminism to replace the nuclear family, you have this system, this ideology that has persisted since the 60s, that in order to be a free, strong, independent woman, you have to rely on the state to give you money, and you have to only either abort your kids, or if you do have kids, those kids will only be used to get more money from the state, thus eliminating the man in the household. The reason why I bring this up is simply because if we're talking about entertainment and culture and everything else, we are generations removed from the nuclear family. I don't honestly think the nuclear family is ever it's no longer going to be the norm. Most people I know, the divorce rate, I believe, has been 50 or 60% in America since I was a kid.
Yep.
Most of the people I grew up with were in either 2-parent households or they were just a bastard like me and everything else. You know, it's one of those things to where if you want to try to make traditional values seem appealing or seem cool or seem like something that you could make a movie about or something that you could promote and have sort of propaganda for, you are fighting a losing battle that has been going on and taking place since the 60s. It started with the nuclear family. It started with getting fathers out of the household and being replaced by the state, which is just a stepping stone to communism, to full-blown communism and socialism and all that shit.
Yep.
And in order to get back to traditional values and everything else, you're not only fighting what is been ingrained in us from a societal level, you're fighting every piece of media, every piece of entertainment, every piece of fucking video game. Like everybody's just obsessed with fucking going out there and fucking everybody they can fuck, not having a household, not having a family, not collecting wealth or accumulating wealth, land, and fucking guns, ammo, and the ability to defend it. Traditional values are looked at as something that's antiquated, stupid, and honestly less fun. Because since the 60s, since the bra burning feminism, since taking fathers out of the household, what's that word? Promiscuity, being sexual, being sexually liberated. That has been the new norm. That is seen as being fun. That has been propagandized to make women and men honestly feel like your life is only going to be complete if you go out to the bar or a nightclub and get a piece of strange. And I honestly don't think. I think we have a better chance of changing the government than we do changing society to make the nuclear family come back. I don't ever see the nuclear family being the norm ever again in my lifetime. I honestly don't.
Not be. But you don't need a nuclear family to value the principles of liberty.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to counter that a little bit, I'm not going to be able to answer everything you said there.
Right.
But I will tell you this. In my scenario where the town said you can make your movie, and if they try to stop you, we'll arrest them. In that town. In that scenario, if that movie is made and that movie does the one thing that a movie is supposed to do, especially if it's a piece of entertainment. If I'm saying not a documentary, because no, I'm talking entertainment. What is the one thing entertainment is supposed to do? Entertain.
Uh-huh.
Now, if that thing is properly entertaining and it has those things as part of a logical story element, then those ideas will start to come across it. And again, I'm not talking about short-term solutions. I am talking about
the long game.
Yeah, it is. It's a very long game.
It's
a game that's longer than most people are prepared to commit to.
Yes, sir.
Look,
but we need to decentralize. I'm
Yo.
sorry, Pino. Give me just a moment here.
All right,
We
ahead.
do need to decentralize entertainment as a whole. That's part of the brilliance of YouTube when it started, is that it decentralized entertainment for all kinds of entertainment. I mean, for me, politics is entertaining. That's
I don't
why
think
I plug into it a lot.
entertainment is decentralized. I think it's part.
No, it's not.
With the government now.
No, hold on. This is with YouTube. You've got pluses and minuses. The big plus is when it started, it was the beginnings of decentralizing entertainment. But as it went forward, what did it do? The same thing that you mentioned about President Trump after they have their talk to him. It knuckled under and became part of the mainstream, and it started courting the mainstream instead of being competition for the mainstream.
Real Big Fish made a song about this. It's called "Sell Out."
Basically, yes.
Let me say this, right? It's really simple. If you want like nuclear family back, all you have to do is there's two things. It's really basic. Number one, you end child support altogether, right? Completely. Like you just stop it. And the second thing that you do, really simple, is you put the welfare in the man's name instead of the woman's.
Yep.
How about while we're at it, can we get rid of the alimony?
Yes.
Like look again, like the child support and spousal support in my state are the same thing, right? Like fucking like if you go to file for child support, spousal support is literally on the same form.
Of course it is.
So let's go back 2 hours. Probably the most important thing that was said was let's just decentralize things, period.
Well, they are decentralized. Like, yo, here's the thing. What you have to understand is most of these laws are state laws or county laws, right?
Mhm.
And like they have to pass them at a state and county level. Now, the only reason they do pass them is so that they can get funding for some bullshit, right? Like, for instance,
Yeah,
do you
it's a
know
money
why
grab.
do you know why your state has a 0.08 DUI limit? Do you know why?
Mad.
No, right?
No,
The
because they
reason-
wouldn't get taxes. They wouldn't get
No.
fucking income taxes or some shit.
no. The reason
No,
is
it was
because that's
of
yo,
mad.
Federal
No,
funding.
no.
Driving.
yo, that's how they fund their police departments and road crews.
Yep.
Yes,
Right.
but they used mad as the element to get it lower.
That was the
down.
propaganda arm.
No, that was the lobbyist group that passed all the shit, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But like, yo, legitimately, the reason why your state passed it is because the state wanted the funding for their projects.
Right. They wanted the federal funding.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Department of Education. The Department of Education has no authority to set policy. All they can do is bribe.
Yeah. So all you have to do is like legitimately, you know what I mean? Like if you can raise taxes in your state, right? Instead of like raising taxes at a federal level, like you no longer have to worry about this bullshit because the federal government no longer becomes a goddamn problem if you fucking pay taxes at a state level.
I have a question for you, Pinoid.
What up?
A bit of clarification there. When you say raise taxes, do you mean raise revenue? At the state level?
we can go that way. We can go that route.
Because there are ways to do that without raising taxes.
Exploitating laws is just another tax.
Yeah. Yeah, really is.
I mean, like, you know,
I
I mean,
think so.
you could pull over more black people if you want, you know what I mean? Hand out more fines if that's what you want to do.
That's not what I was
Yeah, but
getting
then
at,
they
but I know
can't
what you
afford
mean.
to pay it because they don't have their kids, and therefore they've been thrown into jail, and now they can't get a fucking real job.
Right.
Yeah.
And they get
I
their
mean-
driver's license revoked because they can't get a real job and they can't afford to pay the child support.
So they
Yeah.
end up selling drugs, and you know, I mean, that's why
Yep.
90% of all fucking, you know, I mean, drug offenses that are in jail right now have child support cases.
It's
You
the
know what I
birth
mean?
to prison pipeline.
Like,
Yeah,
yo,
And
if you-
it goes back to what I said about, you know, way back when, where the state convinced a lot of women to replace the husband with the state. So
Yep. Exactly.
Well, no, like, here's the thing, right? Like, if they didn't have that to fall back on, if they didn't have that, you know, I mean, like, oh, I'll just put him on child support, right? If like the dude wasn't scared to get hit with child support, it would be a whole different fucking dynamic inside of the household as a whole.
women would stop being sluts. Women
Yeah,
would stop
basically.
being.
Well, people,
They would literally stop being welfare queens, you know. And of
But
course,
people-
you know, hashtag not all, because there is good women out there and blah 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 and all that shit. But the thing about it is I think that if you eliminated that to fall back on, if a woman knew coming into a sexual relationship or a committed relationship or what have you, if a woman knew that, hey, if I get pregnant, I don't have child support or an abortion clinic to fall back on, it would be, I think a lot of more women would be more selective in who they let fucking jizz in them. But
Yeah, I
I'm
think
okay
so.
with abortion.
I think you're right about that, but I think there's that kind of an education has to happen in the reverse as well for men. For example, for boys,
there is
specifically
a lot
for
of
boys.
deadbeat dads. There is a lot of deadbeat dads out there. I will.
No,
100
that's not what I'm getting at. That's not the part I'm getting at.
No, guys are fucking sluts too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
See, what I'm getting at is when you're raising a boy child, let's say, I don't know, there may be cases of, you can do this in cases of, what is it? The allowance that used to be a thing. Plus you add that to any income they earn if they have a job as a, you know, paper route or washing dishes, whatever, you know.
Do
And
kids even get to do paper routes anymore?
I doubt it, but I'm just using those as examples.
That's
What you do
growing
as a
up
parent
nowadays.
when raising that kid, if you want that kid to understand the dangers of having the unprotected sex,
Mhm.
you role play this whole court thing, this whole family court thing, and you say, okay, we're gonna teach you about the family court.
Bend over.
You're making $50 a week, just to keep the numbers easy. But you went and had the sex and you made the kid, so that's 25 right there. And the girl's also suing you for spousal support. That's another 10. So now the kid is left with, you know, you do something like that and you keep it steady. So
Yeah,
that
I mean,
the income
honestly,
they earn, they're they know that they earned the $50, but they're only walking away with 15, and that's the kind of thing that's going to make that shit stick in their head.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that, abstinence, sexual fucking education doesn't work. Fucking teaching them about condoms and all this other shit really doesn't work. If you want to get a dude to not fucking go out there and make a bunch of bastards, you tell him straight up, hey, how would you like to not make any money? And if you don't give your fucking baby mama money, which she probably won't even use towards the kid anyways,
Yeah,
they're going to throw you in a cage with violent criminals who are probably going to sodomize you.
Let's add that element in a way. As a parent, you tell that kid they cannot quit their job, and if they do quit their job,
they go to jail.
Yep.
No, they're basically on lockdown.
So see, that's why you were talking about the sodomy in prison. You just teach your kid, do the chick in the butt.
Look. Here's where I'm at. All right. Like I like appreciate your moral justifications, and you're wanting this to be egalitarian, right? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I do, but I don't fucking care. You cannot have child support in a society. It's too much of a burden for poor people to carry. Like, you can't do it. I don't give a fuck about educating dudes. Like, fuck all the bullshit. What you need to do is eliminate child support. Well, it's just too fucking it's legitimately it's too much for like our society to be able to handle like the shit that goes with it in the end of the day.
I do agree with you, but my greater point there is that there's no resources for boys out there.
Well, no,
there's no men's magazine that teaches you this shit. They're too busy saying, buy this steroid, buy this supplement, get a bigger boner.
Yeah. I don't think anybody here is ever going to defend fucking is ever going to support child support laws. I don't think any of us think that should be a thing. But I don't know. But like I said earlier, man, it all goes back to society. Like, you have the society. Yet again, to the entertainment industry, from movies to music to everything else, telling you out there, go spend your money on fucking jewelry and fucking fancy clothes and go out there and fuck hoes. That's all it is. Which, don't get me wrong, that's fucking fun. I've done my fair bit of that as well. Thankfully to God, I never got any girl pregnant that I'm aware of. So
my dick
it's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's fun for a fucking reason. There's a reason why there's billions of people on the planet. Fucking is fun. But
people like to fuck.
Yes,
but I've gotten 2 chicks knocked up. One was a miscarriage. The other one was an abortion. It saved my life.
I got one knocked over, but that's a different story.
Well, I was 20 years old, and the chick knew I was not ready. I was going to college and all this kind of shit. I was not ready to be a father, and she took the initiative and probably saved my life. What could have been. But it's created me the person that I am, that goes, well, I don't oppose abortion in all situations. Is it a dirty thing? Yes. But should a person have to just watch their whole life and dream go to crumbles because of one fucking mistake?
All right, here's the problem that we run into, right? And this is the issue that you're looking at the moment. The problem is this: without child support laws, your life would not have crumbled, right? Because you could have went to college and spent time with the kid, and still did all the shit that you're supposed to do, and without having that burden of making sure that, like, if you didn't give that payment, you would go to jail. That's the problem.
I didn't see myself staying with this chick for the rest of my life.
And then I'll tell you shouldn't have got her pregnant. You shouldn't have had a kid.
Yeah. Well, I feel you. Right.
You should have had the responsibility as a man to be like, I'm not going to fuck her without a condom or whatever happens. I'm not trying to like, well, if you're old enough to fucking pay rent and go to college, you're smart enough to figure out if I stick my dick in this woman's vagina and orgasm inside of her, there's probably going to be a kid as an end result.
My brain stops working when I smell vagina. Like, it is what it is.
Like Psycho, I'm not trying to like demonize you or like throw you under the bus. I'm just saying, I 100% realize that people will get abortions for whatever reason. Do I think it's wrong on a moral level? Yeah, I think that you should have made certain decisions prior to that taking place. But I would never stop someone from making that decision for themselves.
Well, yeah,
See,
but I mean, my situation was we were seeing each other. We weren't a thing. We got drunk one night and fucked, and my pullout game wasn't on point.
Yeah, then both of you made a mistake then. Like I said, I don't think that a innocent child should have to die for y'all's drunken mistake. But
Well, see, but my opposition to abortion has been recent, and it is a hashtag not all cases, because there are cases, but I do believe those cases should be adjudicated based on the concept of due process. I mean,
I think
none of us.
I was just going to say, I think, every situation is obviously different. But if you're, like, for example, if you're one of these women who are like, shout my abortion. I remember that thing being a thing on Twitter where it's like women were bragging about how many abortions they have. Like, you're a goddamn serial killer then. Your vagina is literally a fucking haunted house. It is a fucking graveyard.
Yeah. My issue comes in where I don't care how good you are with all the science. No one knows when that spark of life actually starts. We have all kinds of theories and we all believe different things, and that's all well and good. And people should, I'm generally okay with people basing their morality around that. But none of us knows for certain. And on that basis, if we're going to be a nation of rights, then that child, before it's killed, should have due process, because you're essentially giving it a death sentence.
Not so much on a spiritual or religious level, but I believe that life does begin at conception. However, I do believe that I do believe that Plan B should be able to be purchased by teenagers, because I think a lot more underage pregnancy happens more often than not than adults having a little drunken mishap or whatever.
Right.
I do think that Plan B, birth control, shit like that should be more readily available and be much less regulated and taxed and expensive and everything else. But I do think that if a woman's life is not in danger or the pregnancy wasn't due to rape or incest, they should carry that baby to term and give it up for adoption. However, if a woman's life is in danger, I do believe that she and she alone should have the decision whether or not to abort the child, because that is yes, it is. That is a mind fuck of a thing to have to deal with. Choosing between your life or the life of your child, knowing that you might die in pregnancy, that is a horrible decision to make that I think should be left up to a woman. No one else is in danger.
When she's considering that, you could argue that is due process.
Well, here's the problem that you run into with that is, like, with like the laws in Virginia where they had, like, you could kill a baby after it was born and shit, right?
Yeah. Fuck that.
Right. I feel you. But like on the same point, they were having that same argument about the mom's life being in danger because of her mental stability.
Well, fuck that too.
Right?
That's not actual life endangerment. See,
but this is what I'm saying. Like, doctors will fucking stand here and like, that's a giant loophole that they continue to drive fucking, semi trucks through for this fucking argument.
And my counter argument to that is, if this woman's that unbalanced, then she shouldn't be out there fucking to begin with.
Well, like, I'll be honest with you. Like, all women are unbalanced, and the best ones and better are the most unbalanced ones. Like, let me be real with you.
Yeah, that's true. But no, when it comes to abortion, there's one thing that most people even overlook, which is why the only reason I'm opposed to the current abortion laws is they say my body, my choice. Where the fuck is there that says it's my baby, my choice?
That's
Look,
not
if
wrong.
you had an abortion, it saved my fucking life more than likely. But I have to live with the whole consequence of, what if I had a kid right now? That motherfucker would be like 14 years old.
And he might be cool as shit. He might be hanging out with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bullshitting. You know what I mean? You never know what type of time you're missing.
Right.
Like, legit. Like,
that's why I think abortion is so personal, because only Psycho and that fucking girl that he knocked up is going to have to live with the fact that they killed their kid.
My 18-year-old legitimately, like, fucking.
In fairness, she had like 3 other.
I do. Right. I got like I got an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 2 on the way, and then a couple of maybe babies out here. There might be 5 or 6, but that's not the point. Right now,
Take a breath, man.
right?
Setting up
But
a
like,
goddamn football team.
no, I'm trying to start my own race, nigga. That's what the fuck I'm doing right now.
Pinoid, the Mongolian.
I'm trying to be like Genghis Khan out this
Oh
bitch.
no, God! Now I'm getting images in my head of a movie called Pinoid the Barbarian.
Like, yo,
A little
but like, yeah, but yeah, my 18-year-old, he called me this week, right?
around him.
Yeah, he called me this week, and legitimately, I sat there and did like the father thing, and like sat and talked to him for like an hour. You know what I'm saying, while he was going through some shit, and it literally, you know what I mean, changed his path to get him back and corrected to where he needed to be. And that's an amazing thing. And then like to sit here and talk to him tonight, and we talk about like all the stuff that like we used to do, you know, going fishing and going hiking, and you know what I mean, all the
Is
stories
this your
about
son who's going through the
legal system.
issue?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right.
I mean,
It's
so
great.
you're being a fucking father and trying to raise him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Fuck
Like it's
yeah.
an amazing thing. You know what I mean? And like you never know what you're missing. Like legit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I got my babies, like fucking little ones and shit. You know, when they curl up against you and motherfucking fall asleep on you, it's, you know, it's the best feeling in the fucking world. It's like, oh my God, this is my baby. You know what I mean? Like it's the fucking
I
cutest shit
could
ever.
have had that instead of having a dog, but because of our current legal system, I didn't have a choice.
Dogs are
Nobody
decent
asked
people.
me.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
yo,
I will admit that abortion laws are absolutely sexist. They are. They favor the woman. A woman can kill your unborn child with no legal repercussions without your consent whatsoever in most states.
Yep.
But yet again, the only time I think that should be allowed is when her life is literally in jeopardy, because that is one mind fuck of a decision to have to make, whether you risk dying yourself and possibly having your child die as well during childbirth, or you know, aborting the baby so that way you might be able to live. Like that is a mind fuck of a decision I would never want to make as a human being.
Yeah, by the way, John Public, yo, there's a there should be a Teespring link in the motherfucking description, I'm pretty sure.
I like the idea of the economic abortion, like kids who are not, if you're not ready to have a child, you can't afford a child,
Then you
don't
shouldn't be
have a
fucking,
child.
then you shouldn't be fucking, and you should take adult responsibility for your actions and not do that.
Mistakes
Like,
happen.
well, yeah, mistakes happen, but you also, as an adult, you should have to live with said mistakes.
Yes, you live with
It's
that mistake by getting rid of it.
It's a part of personal responsibility and being an adult saying I fucked up and made this decision. You know,
I can murder somebody and get out quicker than 18 years. Murdering a fucking fetus.
Not usually.
yeah, I was about to say that
Depends.
doesn't sound right, but whatever.
Well, if you murder someone, you just make it look like manslaughter. Duh. Come on now. But no, I mean, an
I don't even know how
18-year
to do
commitment for a fucking mistake. That's cruel and unusual punishment.
Well, no, what's cruel and unusual, and this is why I hate the abortion argument, because it always gets put on platitudes like that. Like I said, I'm not throwing you under the bus for your decision. I don't know all the
Oh, I didn't even get to decide.
surrounding it and everything else. But like I said, like
an abortion.
at the end of the day, you and this girl had sex unprotected while drunk. That is a mistake on both y'all's parts. And a innocent child, what would have grown into, because you said that chick had 3 other kids already, so that fetus probably would have survived to, you know, being fucking born and everything perfectly fine. That baby is no longer in this world and was killed. Like, and that's just the absolute fucking facts of the situation. Am I throwing you under the bus or trying to wave a moral finger at you? No, dude. But it is the reality of the circumstances that based upon shitty behavior on 2 people's parts, a innocent person never got the chance to be alive.
It is what it is, but at least my life didn't get ruined. It could have been better.
You're not
it
wrong.
Could have been worse.
I mean,
but here's the thing: I was on a path that at least I knew what was going on.
Well, that's your proverbial cross to bear, my dude. It's for nobody else. So.
I mean, like, yeah. Like I paid for one myself, I'll be honest with you. And I mean, I don't know if I regret it or not. I think I do. But like on the same point, the bitch was a whore. So you know what I mean. Like I don't even know if it was my kid. To be real with you, at this point,
I didn't even get the choice. She just came back to me. She was like, "Yeah, so that time that we fucked, you knocked me up and I had an abortion." I was like, "Oh."
Well, that does
yeah,
suck. And I feel for you on that.
bitches always pull that shit though. Like I'll be real. If I had a nickel for every motherfucking time a bro had said that, I'd have like 7 or 8 nickels. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and you know what? To be honest, we may never know if Psycho ever really did knock the chick up. She may have been lying with that, lying about it to just stay with him, or some shady shit that women
No,
play.
she wasn't even with me. We were just like friends that fucked on the occasion.
Well, you
Yeah.
never. I will never try to understand the female brain when it comes to saying shit like that. But a lot of women say some scandalous shit like that. They're absolute lies. So I'm just saying, you may never know.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
I seen the
like
receipts.
yo, Miss Clementine, I want to say this right now. My sperm can like it can rebuild you. It can make you better, faster, stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like just want to put that out there real quick. Like yo.
I could be your donor, baby. I could be your baby daddy.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I'm saying, like, again, if we got rid of child support laws, you know what I mean, we could, like fucking fix 90% of like our society's bullshit. You know what I mean, as far as the inner city problems and the family situation as a whole, you know what I mean?
Well, I think if we did do that, it would eliminate a lot of things. But yet again, not to be all doom and gloom or a negative Nancy, but I don't see the nuclear family ever coming back into fucking mass fucking appeal. Nor do I think it's going to be the norm ever again. I really don't.
It will, and I'm going to tell you why. Right here's
Okay.
the reason why. All right, so first off, the last of the fucking population growth places are in Africa, right? Everywhere else is having a negative population growth. So being able to import immigrants to be able to have exponential growth inside of our economy is not going to be a thing for, a while after, 2030 or so. So, it's going to get to the point where, we start having a problem of where we're not going to be able to like continue to have the social programs and all the shit that we got going on, right? And that's kind of like, that's going to end up causing us to go back to more of a fucking spread out society as a whole, right? And going back to that more spread out society, you're going to end up having to have, nuclear families in order to be able to get by.
How do you mean? Because having kids and raising kids is very expensive.
Well, all right. So like the reason why we have like the birth rates that we have is not because of feminism or the laws that we have right now, right? That's a misnomer, right? Altogether. The reason why we don't have any kids is the same reason why the rest of the world isn't having kids. It's because there's too many people inside of urbanized areas. And it's way more expensive to raise a kid in the city than it is in like an agrarian environment.
Well, I don't think you need to necessarily discount the wave of feminism and the state replacing the father. I think that absolutely has an influence on birth rates and everything else. And I think society has, as a whole, the way the world is nowadays, people are far less likely to have kids and bring kids into a world that's fucking an Obama era, fucking take our guns, fucking war for 20 plus years, blah, 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 shit like that. Like, I think, and not to reference a movie or whatever to try and prove my point, but Idiocracy did have some pretty good fucking viewpoints when it's like,
shut up,
well, this well off intelligent family chooses not to have kids because they're too busy with work. The woman works, the man works, which women working and leaving the home is also a sign of feminism. And I think that
what's gonna happen.
The people that do have kids, or most of the people that are having kids, are just making kids to get state fucking cheese and state fucking money and everything else, welfare queens and whatnot. And I think I don't see a nuclear family even if lower numbers of birth rates all over the world means we're going to be more spread out and have less people, I don't think that somehow that's going to make people start to have more kids and want to go back to a nuclear family when the situation is going to be more financially dire for those people regardless.
All right. Do me a favor.
really
Are you
the
looking at your?
nuclear
Are you,
family not important?
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look at your. Can you look at your screen real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Look at your screen real quick. See it?
Yeah, fertility rates.
See
Middle
this?
East and North Africa.
Look.
Yeah, steep decline.
Do you understand that they don't have feminism?
They have war and poverty.
They do not have feminism. Poverty raises your birth rate.
Well, we sent 10 million to Pakistan for it.
Yeah. Most recent value, Middle East and North Africa, 2.8. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to look at like the individual numbers, right? Here's some individual numbers for you. Malta, 1.2, right?
And that's a
Qatar,
fucking rich country.
Qatar, 1.9, right? United Arab Emirates, 1.4. Tunisia's at
Another rich
2.2,
country.
right? Yeah. Fucking Libya's at 2.2. Lebanon is motherfucking 2.1. Kuwait's at 2.1. Right? You see what I'm saying? Fucking, where's this one? Fucking Islamic. Oh, Iran is 2.1. Bahrain is 2.0.
Shit, with all the terrorism, they might make themselves extinct.
Yeah, it's not about that, right? What I'm saying is that legit, you know what I mean? Fucking, you know, like, yo, it's not feminism that causes birth rates. It's it causes low birth rates. It's urbanization.
Yep, the cities.
So
Yeah.
North Africa and the Middle East has a lot of cities and a lot of urban areas.
That's where the people congregate.
Yeah, because you can't live in the desert. They all live inside of a city. Yeah, you really can't though. You know what I mean? Like most of them live inside of a city.
What's that one North African one that's just been destroyed by Ebola, and they live in basically huts?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about like the lower birth rates, you also got to count in societal issues. You got to count in war, disease, fucking the death rate of people.
Yeah, these people don't even have access to condoms and all the fucking birth control that we have here.
Yeah.
And yet their birth rates are still dropping because people are like, whoa, let's not be having some fucking kids.
Yeah. Because they live inside of cities. Like, yo, when you have urban, like, you know where the lowest birth rate in the world is right now?
Chicago?
Well, South Korea.
Oh.
Yo, it's at 0.74.
Oof.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk about
like South Korea, I'll fix that.
Well, if we're going to talk about like urbanization being a part of that, like you do realize that most people in urban areas, you do have not so much feminism, but definitely women working and doing jobs in the city and everything else, and not really doing anything besides dating if they are even able to. Like it might, like I'm not saying that feminism caused it around the world. I do think it caused it in America, certainly, and I do think the whole bra burning, you know, women get out there and have jobs and you know be whores and abort your kids and don't have a nuclear family definitely had a fucking causality to it. But I mean, if we're talking about urban areas being where birth rates are the lowest, then yeah, like you gotta, if you're in an urban area, you gotta go out and, you know, yeah, you gotta afford it, and you don't have time to really go out there and be fucking around trying to have babies anyways, you know, so.
I mean, it's also our generation. I don't know if Pinoids, you're too old to be a millennial, right?
I'm on the cusp. Like I'm right between millennial and motherfucking.
So we're all except for Mitch a part of Generation Rent. It's too expensive to own things. It's too expensive to do things. It's too expensive to do whatever the fuck you want. So therefore, having kids is just an explosion of expense as well. And it's like, I mean, I got to work harder to be able to just simply exist. Most of millennials are like, fuck this.
Unless you're in a rich family, well-off family that is a nuclear family, and both you and your wife work, or you know, like I said, are getting that government cheese and getting state welfare and everything else, and you know, you're a welfare queen. I don't know many people who even have kids like that.
The
You
the
know,
the biggest problem to fix all of this is, like you guys said earlier, we need to have an actual requirement of American voters, a competency test.
like a driving test for voting.
Yes, yes, you have to at least know what the fuck's going on. You know,
White
uh,
white landowning males only.
no,
go
no,
back
no, like
go back to the
if
basics.
like how many people can name 3 out of the 9 fucking justices? Not a whole lot of people. Well, why the fuck should you be having an input on what's going on in politics if you don't know what the fuck's going on in politics? I don't go up to fucking Snoop Dogg and tell him his music sucks because I'm not a fucking rapper.
All right, here we go. Like, yo, look, you're looking at the list on the right hand side, right? Singapore is at 0.87. Actually, South Korea just came out with their numbers here like last week, so this hasn't been updated yet.
1.29. They've gone up. They've gone up like 50%.
No, that's an old number. That's why.
Oh.
Macau's at 0.96. China's at 1.14. That's Taiwan. I'm sorry, Taiwan. Hong Kong is at 1.21. Puerto Rico is at 1.24. So you think Puerto Ricans have a problem breeding? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, fucking British Virgin Islands, 1.3. Bosnia, fucking 1.3. Romania, 1.3.
Wow.
Poland,
I'm shocked about
1.3.
Romania.
Right? It's what I'm saying. Portugal, 1.3. Croatia, 1.4. Japan, 1.4. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, Hungary, 1.4. Germany, 1.4. Like, yo, look at these goddamn countries. These are all countries. Thailand, 1.54. These are countries that are highly motherfucking urbanized, right? And the less urbanized you are, the better your numbers get, right? See, we're still in like the ones and shit. These are all countries like Costa Rica, New Zealand, Sweden, United Kingdom, Norway, United States, Aruba, Cayman Islands. You know what I mean? Like, these are all countries like Ireland, 1.9, right? Fucking Turkey, 1.96 in Turkey, right? Like, yo, Sri Lanka is at 2.
Pinoid, I actually do like the idea of less population because then that's less competition.
Yeah.
The only problem is we've been fucking betting our currency against, you know, unsubstantiated growth.
Yeah, like the highest countries, like the highest country is Niger at 7. Angola is at 5.96. Congo, Mali, Chad, Sudan, Uganda, Benin, Zambia.
So they're just trying to replace all the people who are murdered.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm definitely not trying to like discredit the impact of urbanization. That wasn't my intention. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's like I just wanted to show you, like, so you understood like exactly what I was saying, because I've looked at these numbers a bunch of times, right? You know, I mean, just so like, you know, I mean, you can comprehend like stuff that I do. I'd like to be able to share information when I find it. You know what I mean? I think it's important that.
Well, I mean, I already had a pretty fundamental understanding that people in major cities really rarely ever do have children or try to get to any kind of nuclear family. I already had a pretty firm understanding of that. It's interesting to see other countries also do the same thing. But
if you just got rid of the idea of child support, then nuclear family wouldn't be as important, because then the father would still be able to be a father if we got the women off of the state.
We'll see, and that's another thing that I would have to disagree with Tom saying that you know, eventually the nuclear family will come back. I highly doubt it'll come in my lifetime, and one of the major reasons why is, you know, back into the political shit. Like, I think that there's so many people who love that gilded cage of theirs. They love less freedoms and more fake safety and more dependence upon the government.
So if we stop them from being able to vote through a competency test,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, bro. That shit ain't going to happen.
I know. But
they need low IQ voters, all right? Because like they literally can't explain the shit that they're doing. And first lane, last lane, no, we've actually had 2 goddamn snowstorms so far in PA this year. It's been fucking garbage. Fucking, it's been fucking pissed off. Like so much goddamn snow. Legit. I spent fucking 3 hours shoveling a driveway and like a fucking 30-foot piece of walkway and shit.
Sorry, I'm Californian. What is snow?
Fuck off.
I think I've had like maybe 5 rainy days.
Again, fuck off. All right, legit. You know what I'm saying? It's like 35 degrees. It's like 31 degrees every day when I wake the fuck up now. It's going to drop down even lower this month.
Yeah, I'm still riding around on my motorcycle.
Yeah, no. I go for a walk. I have to put on a hoodie, a coat, a fucking hat, and then I put my like Russian Rocky fucking the squirrel fucking hat and shit.
Oh, the Yukon hat?
Yeah. I got one of those to put on top of there so I fucking stay warm and you know what I mean, don't get goddamn sick going outside when I'm fucking taking my walks in the morning. But anyway, look, man, we've been doing this about 3 hours. I'm about to like, you know what I'm saying, go get something to drink and crash for a little bit. You know, because I have to get up in the morning and do some things. But like, yo, Tennessee Marine, Mitch, Psycho, like, it is super appreciated. Y'all guys coming to fuck out tonight and help me out. You know what I mean? Like, we've had a good crowd. Thank you everybody for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we definitely need to get this politic party figured out so that way we can fucking fix our country.
Kind of pissed off he came out and show up.
And thank you everybody in the chat. It's been interesting read while I've been on stream reading the chat.
I hate all of you.
Yeah, all right, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all motherfuckers later and get out of here. Peace be like one. You know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe if you're new around here. All right, man. Peace.